Okay. All right, we are live. We are live. We're large and in charge. We're going live. We were having some technical difficulties this morning with the microphone, unfortunately, but it wasn't really actually an issue with the microphone. It was surprisingly an issue with one of the Windows settings, but everything has been cleared up. Everything sounds delicious. Thank goodness, because it was a weird glitch. But I went to a few message boards and stuff like that, and I was able to come to a conclusion on how to proceed. It was an audio enhancement issue. Anyway, we're going to react to Donald Trump's emergency cabinet meeting here in just a second. One moment. Actually, I'm going to try something real quick. Bear with me, everybody. You guys are so patient. You guys are always so patient. Thank you, Mr. Nate Dogg. I appreciate it. So, give me just a few moments, you guys. The microphone, there wasn't really a true microphone issue itself. What happened specifically was, like I said, the Windows has what's called an audio enhancement feature, and it actually was interfering with the Motive Mix software when the microphone was added as an input. I realized it after going to the message boards, and there were some people who had reported similar issues. And the solution was just to turn off the audio enhancements, because that was actually ruining everything. But yeah, everything sounds crystal clear, and everything's good. But we got E.T. in the house. What up, E.T.? E.T., my brony bro. E.T. Says, you enhanced my audio, Garza. Yes, I did. I enhanced E.T. so much that E.T. can't handle it, dude. E.T., you're my brony bro, dude. You're a brony bro. Dude, you've been on this channel for a long time, man. I will admit, dude, E.T., you are my favorite glazer, by the way. You are my favorite glazer. If there's one glazer I could say that I love, it's you, dude. Well, I just heard the news today. It seems my life is gonna change. We got Annie in the house. I'm sorry, I just want to apologize. Normally I start the stream around like 9:15, 9:30. But like I said, I got caught up in a few delays. But things are working. Thank frickin' goodness. About damn time, bro.
Laugh out loud.
Hey, Gus sent a party hat. Thank you, Mr. Gus. Everybody give a shout out to Gus Krazios 43. Thank you so much, Brony. Just remember, anybody, if you guys send a gift, you guys get highlighted on the screen automatically, just as an FYI. So if you guys want to get noticed and you guys want to feel cute, that's what you got to do, dude. Oh, here we go. Trump's high-stakes meeting.
And we see Antifa signs are literally out there.
Hold on. Is this still
They're
live?
all crooks.
Well, let me just refresh it real quick.
The fact is, we're giving them the calories.
I think, okay, so it did end at one point. So this is Trump's entire cabinet meeting, dude. Dude, we get to have a seat at the table right now. We basically have a seat at the table by getting to watch this. So we're gonna react. We're gonna see what Donald Trump's talking about, and did it affect the markets? It might have. Let me take a look at the Robinhood app real quick, and we're gonna see. Okay, hold on. The biddy my titty, dude. Oh, yeah, markets went down. I mean, I did end up buying when they were down a little bit earlier. So I was able to at least get a pretty decent deal. Yeah, silver fell. And silver's down 3.23% today, but that's why I love silver, man. The volatility of silver is one of the reasons I keep making money. Yeah, dude. Honestly, DT, Donald Trump is one of the most transparent presidents we've ever had. If not the most transparent president, in my opinion. You guys don't forget to double tap the screen. The more double taps we get, the better. Well, not the more, but if you guys double tap the screen, it helps the stream grow on the internets. It does help us out quite a bit on the YouTube algorithm. So just the simple act of liking the stream really does help us out. So let's keep going.
So I'm thrilled to welcome everyone to the 12th cabinet meeting of our administration.
Yeah,
and we're doing
baby.
something that no administration's ever done. We're always letting the press join us because we're very open and transparent. We like the word transparent, but we're more transparent than any administration in history. No, to the best of my knowledge, press has never been invited ever to a cabinet meeting for any reason at all. And it's an honor to have you. This team has achieved more than most other administrations achieve in 8 years. We took the most dangerous, unsafe, violent, and open border in the world. Anywhere in the world, there's no border like the border we had.
Yep.
And created the most secure border in the history of our country. We had no people, 12 months now, no.
Trump got us on the right track, bro. Trump got us on the straight and narrow, whether you want to admit it or not. Now, people can complain and be mad, and they could throw a fit. Do what you want. Do what you want, because a pirate is free. You are a pirate. Yar har, sailor to be. Being a pirate is all right with me. Do what you want, because a pirate is free. You are a pirate. Let's keep going, dude.
People reported in the last 12 months came in illegally. 0 illegal aliens admitted to the United States in the last 12 months. And those charts are made by, you would say, politically unfriendly people. And the reason they don't come in is because nobody comes up, because they know that they're going to be turned away. And if they get in, they're going to be moved out right away. So it's been 0. You're the one that do the reports. I'm actually surprised by the number, because I don't know how it can be 0, but they say it's 0 for the last 12 months. In 2025, we achieved the largest drop in the murder rate ever recorded. So the murder rate was quite high.
That's pretty impressive.
We achieved the largest drop in the murder rate ever recorded to the lowest level in 125 years. That's the year 1900. And that's despite the fact that many people came in from prisons and from very rough countries.
Bob in the
and
house,
from
dude.
mental institutions and from lots of other places, drug dealers. Others, they came in illegally during the Biden administration. We've gotten many of them out.
Yeah,
but we
dude.
still have some that we're looking for, quite a few that we're still looking for. But we've gotten over 11,888 murders were allowed into our country. We've gotten a lot of them out. We've gotten some, we put them in.
Dude, Trump's the GOAT, dude. Trump has created one of the most secure borders we've ever had. We needed a secure border, without a doubt. The fact that the border was so insecure, it was terrible. It was awful. One moment, you guys. Sorry about that. Okay. One moment.
In jail. We don't even trust the country to send them, because they'll come back in maybe. We put them in jail. 11,888 murders, more than half of which have committed more than one murder. That's what they allowed in. They can never be forgotten for the horrible things they've done to this.
Double tap your screen if you feel like we got better border security now than we did. If you feel like we got better border security than we did, double tap your screen. Because I feel like under Trump, border security has been a priority, and it's been accomplished. We have secured, Donald Trump has helped secure the border more than anybody. So, what his administration's been able to do has been honestly one of the greatest cleanups of all time. If you think about it, we had to clean up a lot from the Biden administration because they basically left the border open. It was very noticeable. And they gaslit us the whole time about it. It was so stupid. I don't know. I'm just really happy that we have a secure border for once. There's less fentanyl coming through the border, which is good. Yeah, that's the way it needs to be.
This country, fentanyl coming across our border is now down by 61%. 61%, and coming in by water, by sea, by ocean is down 97%. Can you imagine? Thanks to our Republican majorities in Congress, we passed the largest tax cuts in American history. All Democrats voted against the tax cuts.
Of course they did.
Putting more money in Americans' pockets this year. The typical family got tax refunds of nearly almost close to $5,000. The stock market has set 68 all-time record highs since the election. So 68 days we hit all-time highs. We're right there now. And the average 401k, and that's despite the conflict. I don't call it a war, I call it a conflict. Despite the conflict with Venezuela, who no longer has a Navy, no longer has an Air Force, no longer has a lot of people that were leading the country into very bad places.
Yep.
Their leadership is gone. Their second rung leadership is gone, and we're dealing with their third, half of their third, because half of their third is gone too.
Oh, yeah.
The average 401k is up almost $30,000 since I took office. So the Americans are benefiting working today. We have the most working, and we have 401ks at their all-time high. Highest they've ever been. And that
That's not bad. It's not bad at all. Pretty good.
goes along with the stock market, which is the highest it's ever been. Under my most favored nation agreements, this is something that I wish
dude, Trump's killing it. First off, I just want to say Trump is killing it. People may disagree with me on that. I don't really care what you think, because I don't care what you think, just as long as it's about me. Trump daddy, dude.
media would talk about, because to me it's one of the biggest things ever to happen in our country. Certainly as to medical, anything having to do with medical, because drug prices, we're delivering record-setting discounts on prescription drugs with price differences of 400, 500, and even 600% at the TrumpRx.gov. We recently added nearly 1,000 low-cost generics to the website. So we have drugs down 400, 500, 600%. Now you could say 80, 90.
That's not bad. Getting drugs down in price. I think the whole Trump RX thing is pretty tight, because if you can get drug prices down, lowered, I think that's great. Look, drug prices are already too freaking high, and the more we could lower down the drug prices, the better. Straight up. We got Damage Inc. saying, "What up, Garza? Nothing much, my brony bro. How you doing, bro?" We got Orwell the Resident in here. We got BPD Bob, of course. We got Annie. We got the whole crew, dude. We got Gus Krazios. We got Nate Dogg sending us a gold coin earlier. That was sick. And then Gus, of course, if I remember right, sent us a party hat, which was really tight. Thank you for that party hat, Gus. Mucho apreciato. I appreciate it so much.
70.
But guys, make sure you guys double tap the screen. If you guys think that Trump is winning, overall, double tap your screen to like the stream. Also, we need more likes. admittedly. The more likes we get, the better. We're a smaller channel. We're trying to grow bigger. So the bigger we grow, the faster we YOLO. I'm pretty cringy, but I hope you guys like the stream.
60, 50% of you
Laugh
want.
out loud.
Two ways to
Hey, thank you, Damage Inc. for the high five. Mucho appreciado again. Thank you, brother. Brony bro. You're my pink brony bro. And we dance at the gay clubs. Oh my God. I'm just having fun on the stage in my hooves. It feels like the gift goals are not working. Hold on. Google.com. Gift goals are not moving on YouTube Live. Well, that's weird. It just feels like it's not processing properly. Hold on, because everybody's sending gifts. Everybody's sending gifts, but the gift goal doesn't seem to want to move. But yeah, no, I'm just glad these mic issues are finally out of the way, man. Needed these microphone issues to get out of the way. But yeah, so I don't know what's up. So whenever I set up these gift goals on the tubes, it's like they're no longer working. I don't know if it's like the old system's not working or what the heck's going on, but like, I don't know if you guys have noticed that, but like if you press on the goal, like if you press on that goal, BPD Bob is saying this is a new camera angle, by the way. I feel like I've never seen this much of the room. Well, actually, it's not a new camera angle. I actually, I wouldn't say compressed it down. I basically made it to where it shows more of the room, essentially. So yeah, it's a little bit more, but not by much. But also, I have a new camera, a new webcam. So this isn't, well, I got this webcam probably about how many weeks ago? A few weeks ago, it feels like. It's been great, though. It's been amazing. Whoa, strong dong? Strong dong personal finance, dude, my man. Let's keep going, man. Let's keep watching Trump.
on the way you asked the question. But a pill that would sell in 600% at the TrumpRx.gov. We recently added nearly 1,000 low-cost generics to the website. So we have drugs down 400, 500, 600%. Now you could say 80, 90, 70, 60, 50% if you want. There are two ways. Depends on the way you ask the question. But a pill that would sell in Germany or in, let's say, in London for $10, we're selling for here for $130. And
yeah, and Trump RX wanted to match the prices. So if you get that same exact drug for $10 in London, like he was saying, and you have to pay like $130 or $150 just to get that same drug here in the U.S., that's pretty lame. So Trump wanted to make it towards affordable, and I love it.
I got the countries to all agree, otherwise they would have had to pay big tariffs. I don't want to go into it, but I had some very interesting discussions. They said vehemently no, and then when I said, that's all right, we're going to charge you 50% tariff on everything you sell into America, they said, well, like we said, we'll say yes. And every single country agreed, and every drug company agreed. So we have most favored nation. So we were paying the highest drug prices.
Oh, it looks like tech earnings lifted stocks. Okay, so part of my portfolio was sinking, and the other part wasn't. I always like to, like I said, I swing trade volatile ETFs basically, like silver. Gold is volatile enough for me to make a profit. I swing trade the Biddy as well. Biddy, my titty, dude. 23.38. Yeah, I made some good money on the Biddy. Biddy's been one of my favorite positions. Just keeps going up, man. Yeah, the thing is, I just firmly believe that Bitcoin is a Ponzi scheme. And it's just one of those things that I enjoy betting against Bitcoin. I really do. I think that betting against Bitcoin is probably one of the smartest things I've ever done as far as investing goes. So it's what I believe, at least.
In the world, now we're paying the lowest drug prices in the world. So that pill that I talked about would go from...
It's not every day that you get to bet against a Ponzi scheme, by the way. It's not every day that you get to do that.
$10 to $20. The world is bigger than the U.S. Hard to believe, but it's true. So it's not like you cut it in the middle. They just had to go up a little bit, but a little bit is a doubling of a price, so a little bit's a lot. So the pill would go from $10 to $20, and we'd go from $130 to $20. Think of that. So we would get, if you remember, some of you were at the news conference I had in my first term where I got the prices down 1/8%, 1/4% my first term. And I was so proud of it because drug prices hadn't come down in 28 years, and I was the first one to do it. But now I'm getting them down, not 1/8%, I'm getting them down 400, 500, 600. Or if you want to use it a different way, you could say 70%, 80%, 90%, 50%. Nobody's ever seen anything like it. And I got that through, well, everybody knew it was taking place, but we paid the highest prices anywhere in the world. Now we're paying the lowest prices anywhere in the world, and the press refuses to write about it. I think it's the biggest thing. And for healthcare, so much of it is prescription drug prices and drug prices. And with them coming down, the healthcare is going to come down very substantially. We recently added nearly 1,000 low-cost generics too, as I said, and that's 1,000 drugs, and it's all on. And this was not given by me. This was given by Dr. Oz and Bobby, and I, wasn't sure whether or not I loved the idea, but they said we want to use Trump. TrumpRx.gov is what it is, and it's the hottest site I think anywhere on the planet, from what I understand, Bobby. Right?
It's the hottest website. Well, I don't. No, I think TrumpRx is great. I mean, look, I don't like taking prescription drugs. I don't really need to, thank goodness. I'm knock on wood. But but people who need those drugs, man, people who need those prescription drugs, it's there. I think that having TrumpRx as an option is really good. It's really good. Oh. Let's keep going, man.
People are calling up and they're buying drugs for literally a fraction of the price. And it should be the biggest story. And on that alone, we should win the midterms. On that alone, we should win the midterms. But the press doesn't talk about it. It's the biggest thing to happen in the drug industry ever, maybe. Ever. And the press doesn't even want to write stories about it. We made the largest ever investment in U.S. military,
Small
$1 trillion,
wiener gang.
and we're asking actually for $1.5 trillion.
Hey, thank you, Alex Alfonso, for subscribing to the Michael Garza Show. I greatly appreciate it, man. Thank you so much. I really appreciate you, man. Thank you.
For the coming year, and we have the strongest military anywhere in the world, as you know. You saw
Actually, you know what?
What we did with
I'm going to put your name back up on the board. Everybody give a shout out to Alex Alfonso 43. Small Wiener Gang. Thank you so much for subscribing, Brony Bro. I appreciate you, man. Hey, if you guys want to subscribe, man, feel free. We're a fun show. We're not unique by any means, but we're unique, I guess. Unique enough. We're a very fun show. We like to do our thing. But make sure you guys double tap the screen to like the stream. One more time. Double tap your screen. If you guys think that Trump is the man, double tap your screen to like the stream. If you guys are tired of the woke left telling you how to live your life, double tap your screen to like the stream. The more likes we get, the better. It does help the channel grow in more ways than one.
with Venezuela, that worked out very quickly, and we're doing really equally as well with, but again, people don't want to write about it, with Iran. Iran is very much intent. They want very much to make a deal. So far, they haven't gotten there. We're not satisfied with it, but we will be. We will be either that or we'll have to just finish the job. But their Navy is gone, as I've said 1,000 times. Their Navy is gone. Their Air Force is gone. Everything's gone, and they're negotiating on fumes. But we'll see what happens. Maybe we have to go back and finish it. Maybe we don't. Right now, I mean, you can speak to Steve Witkoff and Jared. They're doing a good job. But
dude, I just want to see an end to the Iran war. I mean, it pretty much is over. It's just that we keep waiting on Iran to go with these peace talks that they're not going to agree to. See, that's the problem, is we're thinking that Iran's going to agree to peace talks. They're not. By the way, I'm going to make a breakfast quesadilla real quick. Do you guys want one? Do you guys want me to make you a breakfast quesadilla? Okay, BRB, hold on. All right. Here we go. All right.
Right now, I think it looks like they want to just make a deal. They want to. They have. I don't think they have a choice. They're just going back to the internet because they're getting clobbered. Their economy is in free fall. They have 250% inflation.
Jeez.
Their money has no value. Their whole economic system is broken down. They thought they were going to outweight me. You know, we'll outweight him. He's got the midterms. I don't care about the midterms. Look what happened last night. That was the prelude to the midterms. People understand it. They know that. Very simple. Iran.
I don't think there's a blue wave, by the way. Everybody keeps saying, oh, the Democrats are going to win. Oh, the Democrats are going to win. There is no blue wave. There is no blue wave happening. It's not happening. I know you guys want to believe that there's this magical blue wave that's just going to happen. It's not going to happen. I know that you guys are confident that it's going to happen. A lot of you lefty libs, I get it. You guys think that, oh, everything's going to be A-okay, just fine, just fine. It's not, bro. It's not. You know it. You know I'm right.
And cannot have a nuclear weapon. I'm doing that for the world. I'm not doing it just for us. And we've had great support from other nations, by the way. We don't need it at all, but we've had great support from other nations. The problem is you always get the support when you don't need it. When you need it, you don't get the support. With Operation...
Hey, I just got called Gaza. Every time I get called Gaza, I have to say, Michael Garza 4-3. Trifecta. All right.
In epic fear, our warriors are ensuring that the world's #1 state sponsor of terror never obtains a nuclear weapon, and they won't. Under the leadership of Vice President J.D. Vance, very proud of this, the White House Task Force to eliminate fraud is waging war on waste, fraud, theft, and abuse like nobody's ever seen before.
Dude, J.D. Vance is a king, dude. J.D. Vance is the man, dude. He's a king, bro. He's a king, dude. By the way, if you guys, I just kind of want to do a little bit of a poll here, okay? We're doing a little bit of a poll. If you guys want J.D. Vance to be the president in 2028, double tap your screen to like the stream. Once again, if you want J.D. Vance to be the president in 2028, double tap your screen to like the stream. If you guys think that Donald Trump is doing a great job in Iran, double tap your screen to like the stream. Let's go. If you guys want to help out a smaller channel, please double tap your screen to like the stream. But no, real seriously though, overall, I think that J.D. Vance is going to, if J.D. Vance runs in 2028, that is one of the hopes that I have. Is it a crazy hope? Probably. Maybe a dumb one, I don't know. But I do want J.D. Vance to run. I think he'll do an excellent job if he does. I really do.
He looks like Elliot Ness. Do you ever see Elliot Ness? I'm telling you, the guys that are up there are all central casting and standing behind. What a group of people. No, it looks like a movie. I'm going to make a movie out of it, I think. And they're finding billions and billions and billions of dollars. And I just said, that's good. He said, you haven't seen anything yet. Just said that. And, you know, if he does really great, we'll have a balanced budget without having to do anything. This is the kind of money they stole. They're crooks. They're thieves. And I hope that Todd is going to do a real job. These are crooked people. These are thieves. This isn't like a mistake.
Yeah.
Just talking about one person, he got hundreds of thousands, millions of dollars for securing one man, for taking care of one elderly man. He was a service. He got paid millions of dollars for taking care of one man. Total crook. They're all crooks. The Somalians, what they've done to Minnesota, the Somalians, they're crooked as hell.
Could not agree more. Could not agree more, man. Mr. DT could not agree more.
Ilhan Omar, crooked as hell. They're all crooks. And
I mean, I'm not going to say they are because I'm not the president. I can't say that, but I agree with the president. I'm going to say that wholeheartedly. I agree with the president completely on that one. What happened in Minnesota? It took a kid with an iPhone, basically, named Nick Shirley. I consider him a kid because he kind of looks like a kid. It took a kid with an iPhone, a virgin Mormon YouTuber, went down to Minnesota and exposed the whole shebang. All right?
we got him. We got him. Now we're putting the clamps on, but boy, I tell you, that's an impressive group of guys that you have behind you. I was watching that, and a couple of very strong women, too. But I was watching that last night. I said, I'm proud of you guys. In 2 months, we've exposed tens of billions of dollars of defrauded taxpayer money, prosecuted numerous fraudsters, Todd.
It's crazy how much fraud there is, man. It is wild how much fraud there was in Minnesota. Like, that blows my mind, dude. And good job. Everybody, give a shout out to Nick. Big Dick Nick, everybody. Double tap your screen if you guys love Nick Shirley as much as I do. I love the kid, dude. Yeah. The president said that, Adam. What's wrong with that? Dude, the president, here's what President Trump is doing. The president is saying what we're all thinking, right? Oh, hold on. Yeah, but President Trump is saying what we're all thinking. Also, double tap your screen to like the stream. Let's go. Well, yeah, here's the thing. The Democrats are very ineffective. Yes, I agree, Adam. They very much are. The Democrats don't know what they're doing majority of the time. I don't trust Democrat leadership at all, and I don't really think anybody should. I just think it's stupid.
And stop billions of suspicious payments, very suspicious. Oh, you haven't seen anything yet? What do you see? I'm getting reports from Todd, from JD. I've never seen anything like it. The kind of just hundreds of billions of dollars was stolen, and no other administration would do what we're doing. Just let it go. Everybody was getting rich, and I think we have a chance to save Social Security without doing anything to it by just the numbers of fraudulent people on Social Security, people that are 115 years old, 120.
Yeah, there's a lot of issues with Social Security. I agree with that. I agree with that. If you guys can, please double tap your screens to like the stream, and I beg you, please double tap your screen to like the stream. It does help the channel grow. We are a smaller channel, admittedly, so we're trying to get a little bit bigger. But yeah, the more likes we get, the better, man. BPT Bob says, ah, crap, my shipments are in. Back to work. Uh-oh. Have a good one, Mr. Bob. Love you, bro. Get it, brother.
25 years old, getting payments. It's funny, I said, oh, do those payments get turned back? No, they accept them. Well, somebody's getting the payment. It's not a person that's 125 years old. But that's the least of it. The numbers that we're finding out, we have great people at Social Security. We're going to make our Social Security so strong, so good, that you've never seen anything like it. We're going to protect. I said right from the beginning, we're going to protect our people in Social Security. If the Democrats ever got in, you wouldn't have Social Security would be bankrupt. People wouldn't be getting anything. Last week, they took down 2 of the largest Medicaid fraud cases in Minnesota history, as well as the largest autism fraud case ever charged by the federal government. You saw that with millions of dollars just being stolen. Everybody had
That's crazy. It is wild how much money's been stolen through all this fraud. You know what I mean? Like, there's just so much fraud left and right, especially in Minnesota, especially in, like, California. It's been revealed, man. I mean, I guess what's the old saying go? The jig is up or something like that. I don't know if that's how the saying goes specifically, but it's crazy, man.
Autism. Everybody had autism. They said. It was incredible, actually. And I've just seen I see what they're doing. You haven't seen anything yet. So congratulations, JD. Be vicious like they are. They're violent people. They're violent, vicious scum. Before asking Vice President Vance to speak about these efforts, I want to express our tremendous gratitude to our outgoing Director of National Intelligence, Tulsi Gabbard, who's a terrific person, actually. Come up with some findings that were pretty good. And Tulsi's worked tirelessly to restore trust and focus on the intelligence and with the intelligence community. They all respected her. They listened to her. She gave us leads that were pretty much, people thought they were dead and they weren't dead. They were right there. And she was able to expose a lot of things that we used at the FBI with Cash and with Todd.
No, Tulsi Gabbard's amazing, dude. I think she's a total stud, dude. She's a total stud. You guys, if you can, double tap your screen to like the stream. We need more likes. We're trying to get 30 likes in 30 minutes. Can we get 30 likes in 30 minutes? Double tap your screen, man. Double tap it, y'all. We need more taps. Double tap your screen.
And with JD and everybody else, it was amazing. She dramatically reformed the Office of Director of National Intelligence and cutting the staff by 40%, and she prevented countless terrorists and cartel.
Dude, honestly, Tulsi Gabbard's a pimp, dude. No, Tulsi Gabbard's amazing, and I think that if, and anybody who's dissing on Tulsi Gabbard, it's like, I don't think you understand how good she was at her job. The only reason she's stopping is because, first off, her husband, last time I checked, had like some sort of medical condition that he's going through, and she wants to be there to help him out. So she decided it was time to call it quits. No, I think she's amazing, man. And he says that she likes Tulsi Gabbard too. Oh, dude, she's amazing, dude. Tulsi's amazing. I think she's awesome. She got tired of the Democrat, but she used to be a Democrat, and then she was like, well, I am sick and tired of the Democrat Party. I'm going to leave the Democrat Party, and then bam. I love it. There's a lot of people who are sick and tired of the Democrats. There really are. And it just goes to show you that you have to earn people's votes. You have to earn people's votes. And just because you have Democrat next to your name doesn't mean that you should get votes by default. You need to earn it. The Democrats have abandoned the working class. They've, you know what I mean? They're just pieces of garbage. I want to just give a shout out to Jackson Dart, by the way, for basically for loving on President Trump. And he's like, you know what? I don't think there's a lot of blue hairs that watch the NFL. So I love it, man. We're just tired of being ruled by incompetent people. And when I say incompetent people, I just mean the entire Democrat Party. Here's the thing about collectivists, communist socialists, that sort of thing. They're very incompetent people, and they're very authoritarian. They're like the worst of all worlds. And, but yeah, the Democrats. But no, I love what Trump's doing. I think Trump's on the right path. Hold on. I'm gonna let my quesadilla cool down. Yeah, I'm just gonna let my quesadilla cool down, do my thing.
Members from entering the United States. She exposed mountains of evidence related to the Russia hoax, probably the greatest hoax in the history of our country. Although, when you look at the fraud coming out, there's a lot of them. I mean, honestly, there's a lot of them, but the Russia hoax, a
Small
great
wiener
hoax,
gang,
a dangerous hoax too, and revolt.
Pete Dreyer, what's up, Brony? Thank you so much for subscribing to the channel. Everybody, give a shout out to Pete Dreyer. Everybody, I'm going to put your name back up on the board. Thank you again for subscribing. Small wiener gang. If you guys want, feel free to tap the subscribe button in the upper right-hand corner. It does help the channel grow in more ways than one. Let's keep going.
Revoked security clearances of officials involved, and she declassified numerous historic documents of special public interest, including...
I'm loving the praise that Donald Trump is giving to Tulsi Gabbard because she deserves it. She really has done a great job. She's very accomplished. She's just amazing.
Related to the JFK and RFK assassinations, which everybody wanted to see, and we're now releasing a lot of things having to do with space. You know, it's people are very interested in it. It actually became the #1 topic. We're releasing.
Yeah, guys, don't forget not only double tap your screens to like the stream, but tap the subscribe button in the upper right-hand corner, as it really does help the channel grow in a lot of ways.
A lot of information having to do with extraterrestrial things, and people are totally fascinated by it. It's amazing. I wasn't sure if they would enjoy it. It's literally trending #1. Can you believe it? So a lot of people out there are like it, but we're releasing all of that.
Extraterrestrials, E.T., bro. My boy E.T. in the chat, I think he's an extraterrestrial.
That information. And Tulsi, we're praying for you and for your husband. Her husband's not feeling great, but he's going to feel great soon. You're going to get him better. And he's a wonderful guy, so just say hello and thank you for the great work you've done. We appreciate it. Thank you very much. And now I'd like to ask JD to say a few words about the war on fraud, followed by Acting Attorney General Todd Blanche, who's doing fantastically, and Secretary of State Marco Rubio, another one. I mean, we have great people. And the Secretary of War Pete Hegseth, Central Casting. He loves war. I don't like it.
Small wiener gang.
And Scott.
Hey, everybody, give a shout out to James McGrath. Thank you so much for subscribing to the channel, my brony bro. That's the sound of my cheeks clapping, by the way. Actually, you know what? I'm going to put James's name back up on the screen. Small Wiener Gang. Everybody give a shout out to James McGrath, everybody. You're my pink brony bro.
Besant, you talk about a guy doing a job. Been fantastic. Thank you.
Frog. Eat. Frog. Frog Eat Frog says, great minds. And you know what, Frog Eat Frog? Just because you're here right now, I'm going to do a special WWE style. I am going to do a WWE style entrance for Frog Eat Frog. Because I'm turning the friggin' frogs gay. All right? Okay. Okay. That was my WWE entrance for Frog Eat Frog, everybody. That is my specific WWE entrance for Frog Eat Frog. Here we go. Right to the sink.
Scott, really fantastic, and a lot of the success that we're having.
I knew you'd appreciate that, Frog. I knew you'd appreciate that big time, brother. So.
With other countries is what you've been able to do and find. And SBA Administrator Kelly.
Oh, God. Is this making you bust or making you blush? I don't even know what you're saying, E.T. I'm afraid it's probably both.
All of the people here have been great. We're going to just do those few, and maybe if you have some questions, we'll go to others. But everybody around here.
So for one last time, I need you all to roll. So what the hell are you waiting for?
He's got a lot to say, but we did that once and it lasted for like 4 or 5 hours. It was a little much. We want to be open. So now if I do this way, they'll say, he didn't let anybody talk. But let's start with JD, and you can talk about a really, really important thing, bringing our country back to honesty. A tremendous amount of money is involved. Go ahead. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Well, first of all, thank you for your leadership, sir, and for making it possible. I often find in the Fraud Task Force that there sometimes are barriers that we need to break down, agencies that need to coordinate, and I'll come to the president and say, Mr. President, I need your permission to do, he'll say, for what? For the Fraud Task Force, and he'll cut me off and say, yes, go do it. So the fact that we have dedicated presidential leadership is really what's made this possible, because it does require we've got great people around the table, but sometimes these agencies don't know how to work together at the lower level, and that's one of the things we've had to turn on and force with the Fraud Task Force. So I want to shout out just a few all-stars here. Linda at the Department of Education has been amazing at finding student loan fraud. You've got people who are either illegal aliens or aren't even actually real human beings who are getting hundreds of millions of dollars from the Department of Education for student loans. We have cut that off. We found a lot. We're going to find a lot more. Scott at HUD has been amazing, because a lot of the fraud that we see is housing fraud, people claiming benefits that they're not entitled to, or again, sir, sometimes completely made up people who exist purely to collect fraudulent money from the American taxpayer. Brooke at the Department of Agriculture, something I had no idea until
that's exactly what was going on. Exactly what was going on. No joke. And JD Vance, dude, is blowing the frickin' lid off of it, bro. Donald Trump, JD Vance are blowing the lid off of it, bro. Without a frickin' doubt. Double tap your screen if you love JD. Double tap your screen if you love JD Vance, all right? I'd rather have Vance in my pants than walls on my balls.
I started this work, sir, that we send hundreds of billions of dollars to the states to administer the food stamp program. The federal government has no insight into whether those food stamps are going to people who are legally entitled or whether those people actually even exist. And so we're working on a number of mechanisms to actually force the states to verify that the people who receive these benefits are actually entitled to them. And I could go down the list. I've gotten a lot of support from a lot of people in this room. Bobby Kennedy and Dr. Oz have been particular all-stars on this, and Kim at H&HS. What they've done with the Medicaid fraud, we found tens of billions of dollars in Medicaid and Medicare fraud just from their hard work.
Oh, Frog Eat Frog finally gets to sleep in his house. Hell yeah, brother. I'm glad that you're back in the house, man. I'm glad things are going better for you, brother.
Cut that off, and yes, Mr. President, we're going to find a lot more. The final thing I want to say, Mr. President, and I know that Todd maybe has something to say about this as well, but I always try to remind the American people, and certainly remind the cabinet officials. By the way, Kelly at SBA has found tens of billions of dollars that were from fraudulent loans that were giving under the Biden administration, and we've now cut that.
Hey, have a good nap, Mr. Frog. We love Frog Eat Frog on this channel. You're a good man, dude. You're a good man.
Off and recovered a lot of that money. So this has been a whole of government effort, Mr. President. The team really deserves a great deal of credit here. But the final point I want to make, sir, is I always try to remind the American people that fraud is fundamentally a crime with two victims. The most obvious victim are the American taxpayer. They pay their taxes. They expect the money to go where it should go, and that's not happening because of the fraudsters. But there are also victims, people who benefit from these programs that don't exist if we're not actually taking care of the fraud issue. And let me just give one example to build on something you said earlier, sir. One of the people that Todd just prosecuted was a person who was collecting a lot of money from the American taxpayer to take care of elderly citizens, people who worked their entire lives, paid their taxes, should have had dignity and nobility in old age, but it was deprived from them from fraudsters who say that they're taking care of them,
which they're not, by the way. These fraudsters are not taking care of these old people. It's just been exposed. I mean, Nick Shirley exposed all this. And then what happened is the FBI had to step in because the state was not doing their due diligence and not investigating any of this. And they're like, okay. And dude, the FBI had zero trust. Like, dude, the FBI trusted Minnesota. The FBI couldn't trust Minnesota to save their life. So what they did was they didn't even communicate with Minnesota that they were coming in. They wanted it to be a sting. It was like a sting operation. And all of these fake daycares and all these fake hospices got shut down, dude. I love it because it's shutting this level of these fraudulent businesses down is needed to be done.
Collect a check to take care of them, but then abuse and neglect these people. And particularly one man who died because he wasn't getting adequate care, and that guy was still collecting.
It's so fucked up, dude. That is so fucked.
Benefits to take care of a person who he had completely neglected. So
so this person was dead. So the old person was dead, and this guy was still collecting money for taking care of somebody who was deceased. That's a level of, dude, that's so fucked up, dude.
Not only do you have an American taxpayer who's paying into these programs, you have an elderly citizen deprived of his dignity because we're not going after the fraudsters. Well, now we are.
How much money did he get?
Sir, hundreds of thousands of dollars, maybe more than that, but we think that that exact type of fraud has been replayed all over our country. That particular case was outside of Minneapolis. We expect that there are tens of thousands of people who are collecting fraudulent money to take care of people, and they're not actually taking care of them.
That is so freaking insane. Honestly, that's levels of insanity that even I'm like, whoa. Whoa, 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 whoa.
We're, of course, going to get to the root of as much of it as we can. But again, sir, it's been, I wouldn't say fun, because you find out how much people have been taken advantage of.
Oh, and you find out how crooked a lot of these people are. You find out how crooked a lot of these people are, JD. It's pretty fucked up. It's very effed up, dude. I get it. I would not want to comb through some of that data. I'd probably throw up if I had to look at some of it, man. But if you guys can, though, double tap your screen. By the way, if you guys are tired of all the fraud that's happening in Minnesota and California, double tap your screen. If you guys love JD Vance and love the work he's doing, double tap your screen. If you think that Trump's the greatest president we've had in a long time, double tap your screen. Give me a second. I'm gonna eat a quesadilla in front of you guys. Oh, that's really tasty. Oh, wow. It's a good quesadilla, by the way. I love quesadillas, bro. So good.
But it's certainly very good and valuable work, so thank you for giving me the opportunity to do it.
Well, thank you very much.
Yes, sir.
Attorney General, please.
I'll just continue to talk about what the Vice President was just talking about. The way that we are actually, it's one thing to uncover fraud, which we've done, and that's part of it, but it's also prosecuting the bad guys that are doing it and stopping it from continuing. And that's where you have, everybody in this room has inspector generals. And for many years, these really hardworking law enforcement members would identify fraud, and nobody did anything about it. DOJ prosecuted it, but spent a very little resources on that. So what we've done just in the past 51 days, over 400 law enforcement actions in this country related to major fraud. That's search warrants, that's arrests, that's convictions, that's indictments that are filed, and that's just 51 days. And it's not just the great prosecutors. It's the FBI agents, it's DHS and HSI agents. It's everybody in this room that has inspector generals that are now they have been freed up, and it's because of you. It's because of the Vice President saying this is going to be a priority of what we are going to do, not just the Department of Justice. Even though we're the prosecutors that are putting bad guys in jail, it's also the law enforcement at every agency, FBI and DHS. And so we're already seeing results. We had a $1 billion fraud, a conviction at trial last week out of Florida. And this was an organization that was stealing from senior citizens in Florida, duping them.
That's freaking crazy, dude. That's honestly crazy. These senior citizens, man, they're getting robbed blind, man.
There were call centers set up in the Philippines, and they were duping them to buy medical equipment that they didn't need, that they would never get, and that the taxpayers paid for. And so that's a good win. We arrested 15 guys in Minnesota last week. The Vice President mentioned one of them. These are people that are not, they're just stealing, and many of them are here illegally. And so you have people who are in this country illegally, who are then taking advantage, and the Vice President says something a lot that resonates with me. The generosity of the American people, the generosity of everybody in this room, the leadership, to take care of the people in this country that are the most, that deserve it the most. Children who are supposed to get food at school, and you have men just stealing, taking that money. And so that's what we're focused.
That's extremely fucked, dude. That's extremely screwed.
On. We are standing up, as you know, Mr. President, you allowed us to stand up a new division at the Department of Justice. It's our entire existence of that division is to combat what we're talking about. And then every U.S. Attorney's Office is now focused on it as well. So this is something that will result in a better place for every citizen in this country and save money, a lot of money, and also it's the right thing to do for our tax dollars, Mr. President.
And billions of dollars was given out just very quickly before Biden left office. Billions and billions were given out. And I mean, I know of many cases, but one, I don't know what's happened with it, but I think you're looking at it. I know Lee was involved in it environmentally. Stacey Abrams was given $2 billion for an account that had $103 in it, an environmental
Really?
fraud, I guess. And she had $103 in this newly opened account. And before leaving business, they put $2 billion into the account. And they had no reason for existence. They were unable to say what they did with it. $2 billion. Lee, do you want to just mention
Crazy.
something about that?
Thanks to your leadership, Mr. President, that was canceled. and they no longer have access to that $2 billion.
They fought like hell.
Good.
They wanted that money. Go
In
ahead.
fact, it was
Good.
over $29 billion that it's now been canceled at EPA.
The billion. Oh, Jesus. That's a lot of bill. That's a lot of billions. It's crazy the amount of fraud that's being uncovered in the U.S. government specifically, and a lot of these federal programs, and a lot of programs per se, like especially these, oh my gosh, especially the medical ones, the fake hospices. No, this cabinet meeting's great. I love it. I think it's fantastic that they're all getting together, they're all strategizing. I will say, I don't know what's going to be happening with Iran. ET says, if gas doesn't go down, I'm going to drive a pink Toyota Corolla. Dude, Pink Pony Club. I'm going to keep on dancing at the Pink Brony Club. I'm going to keep on fapping down in West Hollywood. I'm going to keep on crapping at the Pink Brony Club. Pink Brony Club. I'm up. And my balls are on the floor. Everybody's looking at me, calling me a whore. And I heard that there's a messed up place where all my brony bros are getting cream pied in the face. I'm having erotic dreams of creaming in Tennessee. Oh, Santa Monica, you've been so shitty to me. Won't make my mama proud, it's gonna cause a scene. She sees a brony boy, I know she's gonna scream, God, what have you done? You're a pink brony bro, and you dance at the gay clubs. Oh mama, I'm just having fun on the stage in my hooves. I'm wearing my man thong. Oh, 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 oh. I am a brony boy. I am a brony man. I don't know what I'm doing. If you're gonna take me to the can. Make sure that you guys, if you guys think that Donald Trump is the man, right there. If you guys think that Donald Trump is the man, double tap your screen to like the stream. If you guys think that Pete Hegseth is a stud, double tap your screen. If you think that JD Vance, who's right here, is a stud, double tap your screen. If you guys think that Marco Rubio is so hot, oh my God. Dude, honestly, I have trouble choosing between Rubio for 2028 or JD Vance 2028. But if both of them ran like vice president, that'd be like the hottest presidential ticket of all time, bro. If you guys love JD Vance as much as I do, please double tap your screen. If you guys love Trump as much as I do, please double tap your screen. Oh my God.
He told us to make it a priority. This happened as soon as you came in. After the election, before your inauguration, they were caught on video saying that they were rushing to get billions of dollars out the door before you're swearing in because they were afraid that once you were sworn in, you were going to stop it. Well, that part, they were right.
We did. Yeah, we did. Great job.
And
I love it, man. Thank you. By the way, everybody give a shout out to Nick Shirley, by the way. Nick Shirley exposed a bunch of fraudulent activity and made leftists very angry for doing it.
we're happy to do it, Mr. President, and the Department of Justice under Todd Blanche's leadership. They just secured another big win in an appeals court on some recently canceled grants for different agencies. So great attorneys making sure that this accountability is delivered over the finish line. It's been a great team effort.
And we're building more, most importantly, we're building more factories and plants in the United States now than at any time ever before. $18 trillion coming in. That's not including the 12th month, that's 11. And I say it often that the Biden administration had much less than 1 trillion, and we have 18 trillion. And when those final numbers come up, they'll be even higher than that. That's a record in the history of the world. No country's ever done that. And that money's going into plants, and you are giving them very fast approvals, thorough and environmentally correct, but fast approvals. And you're doing a fantastic job. Thank you very much. Another man.
I would get a round of applause, man. DT, baby. Donald mother effing Trump, bro.
And doing a fantastic job. I think we all agree is Marco. You're all over the place, right? I watched you last night.
Marco Rubio, baby. Yeah.
At 3 different locations. So tell us about Iran.
Well, first of all, the bottom line is Iran's never going to have a nuclear weapon. And if recent events have done anything, is just remind us once again that they are the world's leading sponsor of terrorism.
That is something to remember. By the way, Iran is not innocent here. Just to let you know, Iran is not innocent. Iran's government is terrible. They have done terrible things. Iran's leadership deserves to be taken out. We know that. I think we all know that. We have to know that. I'd like to believe we know that, but who knows? Maybe we don't. Let's keep going.
And they can never have a nuclear weapon. Now, the president's preference, Mr. President, your preference is told us repeatedly, is always to negotiate these things and to figure out if you can have agreements. Diplomacy is always the first option. And we continue.
Yeah, that's the thing. Diplomacy may be the first option, but with Iran, man, I love you, Rubes. I love you, Trump, but I don't think this is going to work. I just don't think it's going to work. I just don't think you can agree. I don't think you could come to an agreement with Iran. I just don't know how it's possible at this point in time. I just don't. I really don't. I don't think you can actually make an agreement with Iran. They're just too crazy. They're too out of their minds, dude. Like how? Tell me how. Tell me why ain't nothing but a heartache. Tell me why ain't nothing but a mistake. Tell me why.
Continue to work on that through your envoys, Mr. Woodcock and Kushner and others, the vice president, who've been very involved. And if there's an agreement to be made, we want that to be made. I think there's been some progress and some interest, and we'll see over the next few hours and days whether progress could be made. I just want to remind everybody, Mr. President, you know this well, you have other options available to you if that doesn't work. But the bottom line is that we prefer the negotiated diplomatic route, and we're going to give it every chance to succeed. You know, you're giving it every chance to succeed, Mr. President. But here's the bottom line, because I keep getting asked, what is this all about?
Oh, we got Mad. Hey, Mad, make sure that you double tap your screen to like the stream if you haven't done so already. Silverback, make sure that you double tap your screen if you haven't already, okay? Gus, I'm pretty sure that you've already double tapped your screen. You're good. Team Hype TV. Make sure that you double tap your screen to like the stream, okay? You surely will not die. Make sure that you double tap your screen. Blue Nose Pity. If you haven't already, double tap your screen to like the stream. I know Annie's already done it. I know ET's already done it. We're good there. We need more likes. We're trying our best to get a ton of likes. So please, everybody, if you can hear me, if you haven't done so already, please double tap your screen to like the stream. It really does help the channel grow in more ways than one. I appreciate all you guys.
It's very simple. Iran and these people in charge of Iran can never have a nuclear weapon, and they will never have a nuclear weapon, and they most certainly will not
Hey, thank you, Blue Nose Pity. Love you, bro. Love you, bro.
have one as long as you're president of the United States. On that point, it's very clear. Just two quick things I want to touch upon. One, you touched upon the border and security. Part of securing our border is dealing with the people that are in this country unlawfully, many of whom do not want to go back to the country that they originally came from for a variety of reasons. Either we can't send them there or some judge ties us up. And one of the key things we have achieved is now 20 countries have signed third country national agreements, meaning these are safe countries where individuals who refuse to go back to their country of origin can be sent to that country instead. We've got.
Oh, hey, you guys, we're almost to 100 likes, by the way. We're currently at 74 likes. We're trying to get to the 100 like marker. We're only 26 likes away from getting 100 likes. So if you can, double tap your screen to like the stream. It does help the channel in a lot of ways. So like I said, double tap your screen to like the stream. It really does help. The more likes we get, the better. Honestly, it keeps the channel afloat. It keeps the stream pumping. So please, we're only 26 likes away. Double tap your screen to like the stream. We're trying to get to 100 likes as quickly as we can. And we got Uncle Chris in the house. Thank you, Uncle Chris. It's good to see you, brony bro. We love Uncle Chris on this channel. Chris Rule, everybody. Give him a shout out. Uncle Chris has arrived. Oh, damn, we just got 80. Oh, we're at 80 likes. We're only 20 likes away from hitting 100 likes, so don't forget to double tap your screen to like the stream. The more likes we get, the better, obviously. We're 20 likes away from hitting 100 likes, so please, 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 we need more likes. We're so desperate. It's the only thing that matters.
20 countries now around the world who have signed agreements that allow us to deport people to those places. What often happens when you go to the person who's here unlawfully and say, we're going to send you to this third country, is all of a sudden they decide they'd rather go back to their home country instead. So it gives the ability to enforce our laws, and we work very closely with the Department of Homeland Security on that front. Something else that I know is concerning people, because it's on the news, is Ebola. Our number one obligation, we're involved in foreign policy, but even our foreign policy, the number one priority of our foreign policy is to protect the American people. We cannot and will not allow any cases of Ebola to enter the United States. And so the State Department and other agencies represented here, the Centers for Disease Control, HHS, others, are working very, very hard to contain this crisis to the countries where it's currently located, particularly the Democratic Republic of the Congo. And so we've surged
I'm spreading again, man. That's crazy.
Assistance to make sure that is being contained there. And obviously, multiple agencies involved here are also very involved in tracking people, just to make sure that nobody comes into this country that has Ebola and creates a problem for us. And we feel like we've got good efforts in place to do that, and Americans should feel assured that the president and his administration is doing everything we can to protect them on that front. My last point, you said I was all over the place. One of the places I stopped in last night was to initial the Trump route for prosperity in Armenia. This is a key linchpin of the peace deal that you were able to achieve between Armenia and Azerbaijan. And in addition to that, we also signed a critical minerals MOU with them and a strategic engagement one as well. So just a reminder of another war you helped to settle, Mr. President. But from that now we are seeing the emergence of a great new relationship with Armenia that really had grown stagnant for a very long period of time. So
I think a relationship with Armenia isn't too bad. I mean, if we can get a good one going, why not? Why the heck not?
We're doing well on that front as well. Thank you.
And could I just ask you, Cuba and Venezuela, what's going on there?
Well, interesting on Venezuela.
Oh, give me a moment. Okay, give me a second. One moment, everybody. All right. One moment. Let's keep going. All right, here we go.
Venezuela, that process continues, that three-phase process, of obviously stabilization, recovery, and transition. I would just say, just since January 3rd of this year, okay, and I think this number's right, and Chris or Doug can correct me on this, but I think over 10 million barrels of Venezuelan oil have been delivered to the United States since the 3rd of January. That industry is being professionalized for the first time ever. It's going to the benefit of the Venezuelan people. They are
Hell yeah.
selling oil in the market at market rates. The money's going to an account in the United States, controlled and monitored by Treasury, audited by KPMG, and it's for the first time ever, the money's not being stolen. It's going to the benefit of the Venezuelan people.
Like, yeah, good. As long as the money's not being routed anywhere else, and as long as it's actually going to the Venezuelan people, I'm all for that. Absolutely all for that, dude. Completely all for that. Crazy. I'm going to fill up my my cup with some water real quick. One moment. I keep leaving my desk. All right. Okay, let's keep reacting to Trump, dog, dude. Let's keep reacting to our boy, dude.
Cuba's in a lot of trouble because, unfortunately for them, it's run by a bunch of incompetent communists. And being communist is bad.
Yep, and that's the problem. Communism kills countries. I repeat, communism kills countries. All right, you guys ready? Communism kills countries. It makes countries really crappy. 'Cause collectivism doesn't give incentives, and it makes people sad and poor. There is no innovation in a communist country. And this is Michael Garza, the musical. Communism sucks, and if you like it, you're a cuck. And communism is an awful thing. Socialism sucks too. Collectivism in general makes everybody miserable all day long, even when you're wearing a juicy man thong. All right, here we go.
Being an incompetent communist is like the worst. And but
Well, if you're a communist, you're already by default an incompetent person. Here's the thing, Marco, rephrase that. If you are a communist, you're traditionally an incompetent person, most of the time. It's very rare that you're competent, all right?
But the country's been taken over by this company called Gaesa that basically controls 70% of the economy. None of the money in that company goes to help the Cuban people. None of it. So we'll be talking to them. We'll be working on it. You know, we want something good for the Cuban people, and hopefully there'll be a good outcome there for them. There needs to be. It's 90 miles from our shores, and having it a failed state 90 miles from our shores is a threat to the national security of the United States.
So we're producing right now more oil by double than Russia and Saudi Arabia combined. There's never been anything like that.
Russia, baby.
We don't need oil. We don't need the Straits. We don't need anything. But we have more oil now being produced by double, by 2 times, than Russia and Saudi Arabia combined. It's a great stat. Do you want to say something about that?
Well, I would, President Trump, under your leadership, we've opened up lease sales on public land. This is land that was put away for the benefit and the use of the American people, like the Strategic Petroleum Reserve in Alaska. The Biden administration had illegally stopped holding lease sales during their administration. President Trump famously said, drill, baby, drill, but before you can drill, you've got to open public lands. Between the lease sales that have happened in the Permian, in the Bakken, and on the North Slope, just since January of this year, it's over $4 billion of revenues come into the Treasury. That's 13 times more than the Biden administration brought in on.
That's honestly kind of impressive. That's not just kind of, that's very impressive.
Lease sales in the entire 4 years they're in office. Sir, your policies brought that in 5 months.
So with that,
Oh, you guys, don't forget to tap the gift button. The more gifts we get, the better. Once again, don't forget to tap the gift button. It's in the, let me show you guys where it's at on the phone real quick. The more gifts we get, the better, but the gift button's like right there. If you guys can see it, it's kind of like right there. So make sure that you guys tap the gift button, and then once you tap the gift button, there we go. Yeah, you can send all sorts of gifts. So whatever gifts you guys want to send, it does help the channel out. We're trying to go on a bit of gift. We're going on a gift brigade. So whatever gifts you guys want to send, tap the little gift button in the lower right-hand corner, or you can send a super chat, whatever you want to send. Gifts and super chats always welcome, but feel free to send a gift. It does contribute to the channel's success in many, many ways. So tap the gift button. Send us. It could be a small gift, a large gift. You know, we're pretty open to it. We're just grateful. Well, at the end of the day is what it really boils down to. We're just grateful for whatever you send. And, yeah, helps us out a lot. My boy Nate Dogg is reaching out to me saying that Robinhood's AI agent can make purchases for you. I don't know if that's a good idea. I don't think that's a good idea. ET says, beg harder. I want to hear you cry for it. Please, you guys, give me a gift. Send me gifts. I love gifts. Dude, I love the gifts, man. All right, here we go, dude. But yeah, make sure you guys tap the gift button in the lower right-hand corner. It does help the channel in more ways.
a lot of excitement, a lot of activity. We also inherited, just in one district in Carlsbad, New Mexico, 5,600 unprocessed applications to drill for oil and gas on public land.
Man.
And when we're drilling on public land, those companies pay a royalty, and that money comes to all of our citizens, and it goes to local school districts, and it goes to states. It is the core of the economy in parts of our country. The team down there working for the Department of Interior, Bureau of Land Management, has dropped that by 91%. It's one of the reasons why they had a record lease sale. It's because now people go, I can bid on federal land and I'm going to get a permit to drill, and it's not going to take me 5 years to get it. I'm going to get it in a month or less. And so it's just...
That's kind of crazy. That's kind of wild.
It's exciting to see your vision, and of course, with this energy dominance, us, as you just noted, largest oil producer in the world, largest natural gas producer in the world, largest natural gas exporter. This is an opportunity for us to bring prosperity and affordability here at home, but also bring
Well, it sounds good to me, man. Prosperity and affordability. I dig it.
priests abroad. So President Trump, your energy dominance strategy with Chris Wright, Lee Zeldin, all the people that are working on this, people around the room, it's been really incredible. And of course, you mentioned Venezuela, but all that flowing to our Gulf Coast refineries is also helping to keep the price of gas down at home. So again, it's an amazing transformation. Bottom line is the center of geopolitics around energy has moved from other parts of the world to the Western Hemisphere in the last 5 months. You turn Venezuela from a sanctioned adversary into into a strategic ally in 45 minutes. Never happened in history before. And what's going
Pretty
on
impressive.
in Alaska, when I was there last week in Alaska, the North Slope, 80,000 barrels a day coming online at Pica. That wouldn't have happened with you. It's up by Willow on the North Slope. That's going into the Alaska pipeline. 20% increase just off that one field. So amazing work. Energy's a high-tech industry, and those guys are crushing it, and they're loving the fact that they can provide affordable, reliable, secure energy for America.
And we're working very hard in California. You know, a lot of people don't know this, but California has tremendous oil reserves. It used to be number 3 in the nation, and the radical left has just wiped it out. And we're working very hard to get that open again and get it so the people, their gasoline prices, their lack of energy is just staggering. It's staggering. And we're actually making very good progress. Even people that were against that at one point, now they're saying, wow, that'd be great. But people don't realize it was one of the, right, Chris? It was one of the top drilling states, one of the,
Drill, baby, drill, baby.
I would say in terms of reserves, as among the top in the country. Nobody thinks of that with California. Everything was just closed down, really violently closed down.
That's crazy,
And
man.
we're opening up some of it, and we're being met with actually great spirit because they're paying so much for gasoline that they don't have to be doing that. And you have a very incompetent group of leaders, like grossly incompetent.
Yeah.
So I think that's going to be something. On a slightly smaller subject, while Doug was speaking, Department of Interior, he and his people have done a fantastic job on D.C. D.C. is looking beautiful.
Washington, D.C.'s looking sexy. I know, dude. I think it's looking sexy. Dude, honestly, just want to say this right now. Trump has cleaned up D.C. Like, people don't realize that this man above me cleaned up D.C. That's a win. He cleaned up D.C., everybody. D.C. was crime-ridden, all right? Our man Trump cleaned it up, dude. Our man Trump cleaned it up, bruh. Brony bro.
Mountains are almost all open. We had 28 of them. And we have one in particular, a very long lake, we call it, the reflecting lake, between the Lincoln Monument. Nobody's ever seen anything like it. You take a look at, between Lincoln and Washington, you have the longest, like 2,400 feet long. That's longer than the tallest building in the world if you set it on its side. And it's almost 200 feet wide. And actually it was built in 1922, and from 1922 on, it really never worked. It always leaked, and it was a problem, and a lot of things. And hundreds of millions was spent. The Biden administration and the Obama administration spent hundreds of millions of dollars trying to get it to work, and they failed. And we'll be spending, you'll give me a number, but I think it's a very low number. It's like in the number that we originally talked about, where we cleaned it, we fumigated it. We had 10 major truck dumpsters of garbage taken out. Can you believe it? A friend of mine came in, very substantial person from Germany, wanted to see the Washington Monument. I wanted to see the Lincoln Memorial. And he said, I look, but that horrible reflecting pond is disgusting. It's filthy, dirty, and disgusting. I said, really? I drove down. I said, Secret Service, let's take a drive. And we went down. I said, that's terrible.
Yeah.
And for the most part, it didn't work. I mean, they wouldn't even have water in there. But when they did, it was just
Crazy.
dirty, filthy water that leaked out. And we got to
Nasty,
work on
dude.
it. And it was supposed to cost almost $400 million, because it's like putting the skin on a skyscraper, but bigger, much bigger. Many skyscrapers, you could almost say, other than for the world's tallest. Think of it, the world's tallest skyscraper is shorter than 2,400 feet. So we went to work, and over the years I built hundreds of pools. I build them every time I built a building. I always like to build Olympic-sized swimming pools, and I was very aware of swimming pool, what goes into making a swimming pool. It's not as simple as...
Dude, Trump knows his fucking priorities, dude. I love that, dude. My man wants a swimming pool, he makes it. He makes it happen. My man wants a swimming pool, he makes that shit happen, dude. I love it, dude. This is what Trump and I are like on... Trump and I are on the same wavelength. I feel like Zaddy Trump and I are on the same wavelength, bro. Yeah, the pool at the in Washington or whatever was, yeah. Yeah. The reflecting pool is 18 inches deep. But yeah, it doesn't need to be disgusting, though. Just because it's 18 inches deep doesn't mean it doesn't mean it needs to be disgusting. What's your problem, Brony?
People think you never want it to leak, you want to have beautiful surface. I said, I have an idea, Doug. We sat down. I said, let's take that long thing where we're going to fix it with concrete, which leaks, concrete, all sorts of other materials that all leak and don't look good. They're gray. And, swimming pool, I have a swimming pool right up the road. I built it 22 years ago. It's perfect. I said, does it ever leak? No. It's perfect. Good contractors. I actually called in a couple of the contractors, got some ideas from them, and I gave it to Doug, and Doug's done an unbelievable job. And so they were going to spend maybe $400 million. I don't know. You never know with cost overruns and everything, but it was going to take years to build, 3 years, 4 years. And we'll have it done before July 4th, substantially before July 4th.
Hell yeah.
If we didn't have such bad weather the last 4 or 5 days, we could have been almost done. You can't do the substance of the rain. And what they did is they cleaned it. They took out, as I said, more than 10 dumpsters of garbage, shovels. It was disgusting. Oh, every corner had massive amounts of, I guess that's the way the tide goes.
Yep, tons of filth, man.
Massive amounts of garbage. We then steam cleaned it. We then sandblasted it, and then we pebble.
Dude, that's tight as hell, dude. Dude, Trump makes things happen, dude. Daddy Trump makes things happen, bro. I know you guys don't agree with me on that, but Trump makes things happen. All right.
Blasted. That's a bigger version of saying we made the surface as good as it can be, and we're now covering it with the most beautiful blue, very thick. You think of it as a very sophisticated form of rubber. No leaks, no problems, and it's beautiful. It's called American Flag Blue. That was the color we chose, and we are probably 70% finished with it. It's going to be finished. The hard part's done. And then we decided to do much more than originally I thought I was just going to do the surface, but we said the problem is the outer ring looks pretty bad too, where you walk on. So we sandblasted that. This is all additional work. We didn't want to do, when you do something like this, when you do the one,
and this is a big deal, man. This is a big deal, and I like that Trump's taking all this very seriously. This is why I love Trump, dude. This is why I love Trump. He wants to make things happen. He's making it happen.
It looked okay, but then when you see the new surface, the old stuff that looked okay looks really bad. So we cleaned that, sandblasted it, the walkways, all of it. It's a tremendous amount of area. It's thousands of feet long, very wide. This is where the people stand, not the water part, the dry part. And we had a combination of granite and stone, and we're pointing it.
Dude, it's so funny, man. A lot of portfolios appear to be on the red today, but mine is not. Mine actually broke even today as far as value goes. S&P went up actually an okay amount. Wow. Go S&P. See, the S&P is not volatile enough for me, though. I need my small cap ETFs. Small cap ETFs are enough volatility, but enough safety due to the indexing procedures. It's amazing. Amazing. But yeah, this cabinet meeting's going really well.
Fixing it, the joints were terrible, everything. The whole place was.
Annie says he's a Trump supporter, Cynthia. Don't let the door hit you on the way out. Thank you, Annie. I appreciate it. So what's this Cynthia person saying? Where's Cynthia at? Cynthia says the pool was a color to reflect the monument. Now it won't. Are you a Trumplican? If so, good. Yeah, I love Trump, dude. Yeah, I don't really care. I'm a Trump fanboy. I don't. Well, first off, if you're not a fan of this channel, you don't have to watch it. If you want to watch it, go for it. You can. If you want to be a hate watcher, be a hate watcher. If you want to be a love watcher, you love the show, love it, watch it. If you're neutral, watch it anyway. I don't know. Do whatever you want to do. You could change the channel. You don't have to watch my show. Okay? It's as simple as that. I'm not forcing anybody. I do my show. I sit on my soapbox. I would say I stand on my soapbox, but really I'm just sitting on it. I feel like the soapbox is going right up inside of me. All right. So, look, I'm not going to apologize for being a Trump fan. I am a Trump fanboy, okay? I loved Trump well before he was president. I'm a Trump fan, dude. I'm a Trump fanboy. And I'm not going to apologize for it. Why should I? Why do I need help? Steven, I think you need help. At the end of the day, Steven, you're the one who may need help. It's okay to talk to a medical professional, Steven. It's all right, bro. Cheers. All right. Okay. Okay. Trump's the GOAT, bro. All right, let's keep reacting to our boy DT. I love what Donald Trump's doing, man. Let's keep going. 'Cause I'm the comeback king. Do you know what I mean?
It's a mess. And when it opens in a couple of weeks, long before July 4th, we won't have it for July 4th weekend, but it'll be long before that, you will see something that's really going to be beautiful. And now we're looking at the World War II fountain, because that's also in pretty bad shape. On the bottom,
Yeah.
we're going to duplicate it, I think, with the, maybe with a slightly different color. Actually, we'll go with a lighter color. But
yeah.
Doug and I have a lot of fun doing it. Your staff is fantastic. They've really worked well. But the concept, so think of it, instead of spending $200, $300, $400 million, and it will never work, we're going to spend like $10 million maybe, $12 million. Instead of spending 4 years, we're going to spend, like if you add it all up, like a couple of months. And instead of going through 4th of Julys as a horrible construction site, we're going to have it open before the 4th of July. And the difference is it's better. Somebody said, oh, well, but it's not the same. You know, some of the fake news would say, well, but it's not. No, it's like the pen store. The pen is better at $2 than it was at $2,000. This is the same thing. This is far better. Won't leak. It'll last for 50 years, maybe 100 years. They didn't even know. I said, how long will this last? Oh, I think you'll get 50 years out of it. We did the swimming pool treatment, but they said, sir, for a little more money, we can get industrial strength. I said, that sounds good to me. Same color, same everything, same stuff, but it's actually much stronger. It's used for industrial. I said, I love that. So we're going to have that open. It's going to be really, really beautiful. And it's a very important thing. You know, we can't have people looking at the Washington Monument, going, the memorial. If you take a look, the Lincoln Memorial, it was built, I guess, a little after the Lincoln Memorial. It's embarrassing. It was so horrible. I never saw anything like it. It was filthy dirty. It was Biden. And they spent between the two of them, they spent hundreds of millions of dollars trying to fix this thing. Now, when
Biden is the king of incompetency. What Trump is describing here is brilliant. It just goes to show you the king of incompetency, Joe frickin' Biden. Oh, wow. Wow, wow, wow. I'm looking at the iShares Silver Trust. Yeah, you know what? I'm going to buy another share of silver. I love having silver in my portfolio, though, dude. Silver is just so volatile. And you know what's crazy is you can make people don't realize how much money you can make from the volatility of silver. People don't take that into account, that the amount of money you can actually make from silver's volatility is, to be honest, extremely insane. You know, I'm gonna buy one more share. I realize I don't have $1,000 position in silver at the moment, and I kind of want to, because having $1,000 position in silver is always good. My initial position in silver is always roughly $1,000. I try to make it at least 1,000, but you know, we try our best on this channel.
When Obama did it, he spent way over $100 million.
Also, you guys, don't forget, if you guys think that Donald Trump's the man, double tap your screen to like the stream. If you guys think that Marco Rubio, sitting to the right of Donald Trump, is awesome, double tap your screen. If you guys think that JD Vance 2028 sounds pretty hot, if you agree with me, double tap your screen to like the stream, man. That's all I got to say, bro.
And they had a great idea. Let's use the water from the Potomac. Because environmentally, they liked it. Somebody said that was good. But the water from the Potomac was not suitable for this, to put it mildly. It was disgusting what happened. Yeah. And so they spent hundreds of millions, over $100 million, and they immediately closed it. It was closed for many months and nobody did anything. It was closed. It's basically been closed. But go back to 1922. It was always sort of, people think of it as beautiful, but it was always a mess. It's going to be unbelievable. It will be unbelievable. It's actually exciting. I want to ride over there today if I can. You know, I always have a problem. Secret Service isn't in love with my walking along, checking the sidewalk, the new sidewalk, to see whether or not they pointed it correctly. But they do. We have great contractors doing the job. But we'll spend a very tiny amount of money, and it'll be better than it ever was when it was built in 1922. It's very exciting, actually. To me, I love construction. It's very exciting. And we do many things. We did 28 or 29 fountains. I made a contribution to redoing Lafayette Park. That's the entrance to the White House. And it was an embarrassment. The floors were broken. They had bricks. Some of the bricks were missing. You know where they're missing? They took them out to throw at people. We're going with them. It's going to be a world-class park. It'll be open pretty soon. They're doing a lot of work over there. That was a contribution that I made with some other people. And it's going to be really beautiful. That was really the front door to the White House, but you couldn't even use it. It was so terrible. People would come to the White House, and it was so terrible. So with that, I'm going to ask Pete to talk about some of our great success.
Yes, sir.
Including Venezuela, you might talk.
Absolutely, sir. I think actually your efforts on the reflecting pool are actually a great segue. If you look at Washington and Lincoln, these are two men that faced monumental tasks and stood up in historic fashion and delivered for the American people. And when you step back and look at 47 years of what Iran waged war against us and our people, there's only one man over the course of both presidency who has stood up and said they will never get a nuclear weapon, as Marco said. So whether it was Qasem Soleimani, whether it was scrapping the Obama deal that was going to give them a weapon, whether it was the 12-day war or Operation Midnight Hammer, you created the conditions to ensure the American people and the world are safeguarded from this generational threat. And so when you authorized Operation Epic Fury, just like you talked about with the reflecting pool, we didn't do the same old thing the way we'd done it in the past after Iraq and Afghanistan, the way we waged wars. Instead, you said we're going to do this smart. We're going to do it overwhelming. We're going to use maximum lethality, and we're going to bring them to their knees. And so whether it's their Navy that's at the bottom of the Persian Gulf, their Air Force, their air defenses, or their defense industrial base, they may have missiles, but they can't build more right now. And they can't build more drones right now. And they can't build more ships. And so they came and cried uncle to talk, which Steve and Jared and the vice president and others are doing so ably. And during that time, we put in a world-class blockade. And they haven't been able to bring anything in or anything out from Iranian ports. And we know from the intel that their economy is hurting big time because that is their lifeblood. And again, bringing them to the table. So whether it is through the efforts...
Honestly, cutting Iran off economically has proven to be, honestly, the smartest move, because I think they're fracturing. I think their leadership is fracturing. I think their military's fracturing. Iran is fracturing because of this. And if they want to succeed, they need to come to the table. They need to agree that they're not going to develop nuclear weapons. This has been the main point this entire time. Iran, you cannot be developing nuclear weapons. Period, end of story. You cannot have uranium. You cannot enrich uranium. I don't think they should be allowed to have any uranium, to be honest. They don't deserve it. I honestly don't think Iran is back to full missile and drone capability. How is that possible? And even if they are, by the way, even if they are back to full missile and drone capabilities, we're just going to take out all their missile silos. That's all we're going to do. The Iranian army doesn't want to die for the IRGC cause. Exactly. Exactamundo, bro. Double tap your screen to like the stream, everybody. Let's go. Double tap your screen to like the stream. Let's go, 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 go. Please double tap your screen.
Of your negotiators that they ensure that they never have a nuclear weapon, or we have to go back to the War Department to finish the job that way. We're prepared to do that. And I think even our reach on the dark fleet of Iranian tankers, no Iranian tanker around the globe is safe. And we've seen seizures all around the globe, again, choking off their economic lifeblood. But all of this is possible, Mr. President, thanks to the investments that you've made in this department, firing on all cylinders. For the second year in a row, we're at historic recruitment rates. Last year, we said that here. This year, we beat it even faster. The American people are excited about what you're bringing to our department.
Yeah. People actually believe in Donald Trump. And, the mainstream media can lie to us and gaslight us all they want about Donald Trump, but we still believe in him. We do. I know I do. I'm not ashamed of it, man.
Our defense industrial base, $50 billion in private investments because of the meetings you've held.
Yep.
Defense manufacturers are investing in new plants and new manufacturing, new production lines, so that we're getting weapons faster than ever. And then the $1.5 trillion that you've committed to the department going forward, that's 1 million American jobs. 1 million American manufacturing jobs. That's Golden Dome for America. That's F-47. That's B-21. That's $50 billion in drones. We're going to lead the world in drones, shaving years off of production of all of those, everything under budget and ahead of schedule, which is what the warfighter deserves. And we saw it. You mentioned Venezuela, Mr. President. You saw it on display there. Think of the fact that our Southcom commander just landed via helicopter at our embassy.
This is crazy, man. Pete Hegseth is dishing out the facts.
Peacefully at the welcome of the Venezuelans, because we're now partnering with them, hopefully, even on the counter-cartel mission as we secure our hemisphere. So we've secured that southwest border. We're going to war with the cartels through the America's Counter-Cartel Coalition. Venezuela is a big part of securing our energy future.
I am so sick of the drug cartels, dude. I'm so sick of the fentanyl epidemic. I'm so sick of all of it. Like, I love it, man. I love what Pete Hegseth is talking about, dude. We're making the world a better place. Slowly but surely. All right, we're making the world a better place. I love it. Don't forget to tap the gift button in the lower right-hand corner. We're trying to get as many gifts as possible. It could be small gifts if you want. It doesn't have to be a big gift or anything. All gifts help support the channel. I will make sure that I will do my best to make sure that your name flashes in front of the screen. If you guys send a gift, there is an incentive, by the way. So anytime you send a gift, your name pops up in the center of the screen, by the way. FYI. So if you send a gift, your name shows up on the screen. Like, it'll actually say, like, laugh out loud, and then it will have, like, the gift showing up on there. So if you can, tap the gift button. Send a gift of any kind. It could be small. It could be big. Big, preferably. We love big gifts on this channel, but we're okay with smaller virtual gifts as well. So if you want to send a super chat, that also gets highlighted too. Super chats get highlighted. Gifts get shown on the center of the screen. So you get your flowers, basically. You definitely get your flowers when you send a gift. A lot of times. So I'll even give you a shout out too. Any virtual gifts we get, man, it helps out. It helps the channel in so many ways monetarily. You guys have no idea. So whatever you guys want to send, we greatly appreciate it.
Future in defending the homeland. And then I just want to note one more thing to give you a sense of how committed this president is. Maybe a year ago, he heard the call of Nigerian Christians who were being targeted and killed by ISIS in Nigeria. And he said, Pete, I want the War Department to focus on ensuring that we do everything we can to protect those Christians. Partnerships like that can take time behind the scenes, but he never wavered on it. And we got the assets there, and over the last month, and there hasn't been much coverage of this, we killed ISIS #2 in Nigeria, who's most responsible for killing Christians and trying to target the U.S. homeland, and have since, because of the intel we gathered, killed hundreds of ISIS members who were targeting and killing Christians in Nigeria, creating a whole new opportunity there. So there's a lot of things we do that the media pays attention to, and a lot of things that the president empowers the department to do on behalf of the American people, that he deserves great credit for.
Thank you.
Trump deserves all the credit. Dude. Well, not all the credit, obviously. Everybody's working together, but Trump is the central leader, man. You know, if Trump has to take all the blame, maybe he should take all the credit, you know? I think Trump deserves as much credit as possible. Honestly, like I've said, I believe he's one of the best presidents we've ever had. Yeah, I think he's the GOAT. I think Trump's the GOAT, dude. Should I apologize for that? No. Give me one moment, though. All right, let's keep going.
Great job. You're doing a great job. I just want to say on recruitment, we're very proud of the fact that for the previous 4 years, previous administration, they couldn't recruit people. And that included...
Oh my God, Odin's back. Odin! Is that the OG Odin, by the way? Odin, is that you? Is that the Odin that used to come on the show all the time and start saying all this stupid crap? Odin. 'Cause I need you and I want you crawling underneath my skin like the hunger, like the burning. Find the place I've never been. Now I'm broken and I'm fading. I'm half the man I thought I would be. You can have...
By the way, police and firemen and others, they were not proud of our country. And they couldn't recruit. Anybody with a uniform was having a hard time recruiting. And they set record low numbers. They were way, way behind. And literally from November 5th it started. It started even before we got going. But from the time we won the election to now, we've had numbers of recruitment, the likes of which we've never had. Record recruitment in every single branch, and that includes police and firemen. record recruitment, so we're very proud of that. Thank you. Great job. Thank you, sir. Kelly, please.
Mr. President, you have made us a nation of builders again. You're leading us to the greatest economy that the world has ever known, and I see that every week as I travel this.
We're the GOATs, dude. We're the best. I love it, man. I'm loving it.
Country, main streets across dozens of states, from Alaska to Maine. I've been in many of those states 2 or 3 times. I hear it everywhere I go. Please thank the president for putting us back on track. They thank you. They love you. They want more of what we're doing: tax cuts, deregulation, fair trade, energy dominance. Small businesses are spring-loaded, and we see that in the jobs numbers. In the last 2 months alone, we've created over 300,000 private sector jobs in this country. Most jobs are created by small businesses, 2 out of 3. And small businesses, as you know, make up 99% of all businesses in this country and account for half of our GDP. So when that part of the economy is finally working again, they've gotten out from $5 trillion of regulation that the Biden administration put on hardworking small businesses. They penalized growth, investment, hard work, and success.
Well, of course they did. That's what Democrats do. They don't like hard work or success. Democrats don't like those things. Democrats look down upon you if you love success. They do. They absolutely do.
But thanks to the working family tax cuts that every single Democrat voted against, hardworking families, the welders, the waitresses that I meet on factory floors across this country, from Pennsylvania to New Mexico, where I'll be tomorrow. Brooke and I are going to Arizona tonight. So we see this everywhere we go. It's one of the most underreported stories in the media. Main Street is back, and that's because America first. I'll tell you the other thing about fraud. Small businesses are particularly hurt by the fraud because they're some of our biggest taxpayers in the country. And they show up every day. They work hard to provide for their employees, to build their businesses. They're doing it the honest way. And they see fraudsters taking from the American people. It's taxpayer money. And so you think about, at the SBA, we found $200 billion in fraudulent PPP loans that the Biden administration tried to hide and forgive and sweep under the rug. We've turned the first $22 billion of that over to Treasury for collections and to DOJ for prosecution. Our Inspector General is already announcing that people are going to jail. There are jail sentences now being served. We've announced that 140,000 people have been barred from ever getting SBA loans again, defrauding the government for about $9 billion. So we are going to continue our work under the great leadership of Vice President Vance and appreciate the partnership because it's really accelerated our ability to get the job done. But then just back to small businesses. We have record business formation in this country. That's another story that the media won't tell you. Over 500,000 businesses on average a month this year. So it's not just record people working, strong job creation, business formation at all-time records in this country, but we have manufacturing expansion 4 consecutive months. That means that's a leading indicator, meaning that we have expansion coming. Another story the media won't tell you, 98% of all manufacturers are small businesses. 75% of our defense industrial base is small business.
Whoa. 75% of the defense. Wow. Seriously? Small business? Whoa. See, this is one of the reasons why I love BDCs, by the way. When I invest in a BDC, I'm investing in a company that is lending money to smaller and bigger businesses, private businesses that can do either well or poorly depending on the situation. But yeah, I basically get to act as the lender in a lot of ways to a lot of these businesses. And I get really good returns by having all these BDCs. Now, BDCs are a little risky. I just want to make that clear to everybody. BDCs are a risky business. So it's always something to keep in mind.
They're our main exporters. And so America first, free trade, fair trade, deregulation, tax cuts, and energy dominance is helping workers on Main Street. And that's why they tell you to tell me to tell you, Mr. President, thank you, and they love you.
Well, thank you very much. Great job. Thank you, Kelly. And
Heck yeah, man. Heck yeah.
Just say, we went to China last week. We had an amazing meeting with President Xi. The relationship's very good. We're doing a lot of business with China now, but it's It's not where they were ripping us off. For years and years, they ripped us off like nobody ever got ripped off. Now it's a very profitable business that we do with China. And they respect our country again. We have the strongest military in the world by far. They respect our country again.
So just to let you know, we're almost done watching the rest of this, man. We're almost there. This has been very insightful, though. I got to
Scott, please.
Good, sir. On the economy, 2 words: resilience and prosperity. The continued resilience of the economy speaks for itself, even during the Iran conflict, and it speaks to the strength of your leadership. Pro-growth policies are creating conditions for American families and businesses to prosper. We're entering the second half of our 250th anniversary year with renewed optimism and momentum. It has never been a better time to be an American, and as you said earlier, we have a record number of Americans working. The economy that you are building is not only strong, but secure and resilient and better positioned to compete globally. Real GDP has risen 2.7% over the past 4 quarters.
It's not bad. It's not bad. It's not the best growth, but it's growth. Hey, growth is growth, baby. Growth is growth, baby. And one thing I will say, though, is, you know, I make sure that I invest in companies, obviously, you know, real estate investment trusts, things that give me real cash flow, right? But I'm also very much, you know, I make sure that I stay in things like silver because silver is very volatile. And honestly, silver gives me a huge advantage as far as a swing trade mechanism goes. My swing trade part of my portfolio actually provides a lot of income for my portfolio, which is nice. It's a good sleeve of the portfolio, I'll tell you. Tell you what. I tell you what, Bobby.
Something that many economists said couldn't be done. In the first quarter of 2026, despite the Iran conflict, GDP grew at a 2% annual rate. The Atlanta Fed GDP now is predicting 4.3% for this quarter. In terms of prices, I believe the prices are transitory. Oil will be lower than pre-conflict levels when this ends. Natural gas is already down, as you mentioned. Drug and pharmaceutical prices, they are plummeting, and rent is down. We are more resilient to energy price fluctuations due to your energy dominance agenda, to regulatory efforts, and...
Because Trump's the man, dude. Trump is the man. Trump makes things happen, bro. Whether you like to admit it or not, dude, Trump makes things happen. Hold on, you guys. Okay, let's keep watching, man. I don't know, Trump's killing it, man. I know people are hating on Trump, and I get that, but I don't agree with it. I think it's stupid. I think it's stupid to hate on Trump, man. I really do. I don't know why people do it. I think he's a great president, and I think people are just jealous at the end of the day. So I think people are just jealous of Trump, dude.
And we have never sold so much energy to the rest of the world. Business investment rose at a 10.4% annual rate in the first quarter. Capital expenditures and business equipment rose more than 17%. And that is as a result of the tax bill and tariffs. Jobs related to commercial construction, factory construction are up 90,000 since your inauguration. In the past 2 months, the private sector, as Kelly said, has added 313,000 new jobs, and those are private sector jobs, sir, including 13,000 manufacturing jobs. We have construction jobs, we're building the factories, and those will turn into manufacturing jobs. The stock market has hit new highs. The stock market lives in the future. It is seeing on the other side of this conflict, it is a strong symbol of optimism for the future, corporate earnings.
Yeah, and I think the thing is, the market can't predict the future, but it is looking ahead and seeing a positive, bright future. And that's the thing. It's seeing a real good future. So markets are forward-looking. That's the point. And, whether you want to believe me or not, whether you want to believe me or not, that's up to you. But yeah, that's pretty much it, dude.
Earnings are high and wages are doing well. For the tax season, we had the best tax filing season in history, which is a victory for Main Street. The average refund was nearly $3,300.
I actually surprisingly got a really good refund this year, which was shocking. But it was cool. It was really neat. Give me a second. All right, let's keep going. Trump daddy. Okay.
$100, 11% increase from last tax filing season. And importantly, 62 million returns had one of your 4 signature policies. No tax on tips, no tax on overtime.
I love the whole no tax on tips thing, man. That's amazing. Amazing.
Reduced taxes. 85% of our seniors paid no taxes on Social Security, and the deductibility of auto loans for American-made cars. For what I believe is the most important government benefit for young people since the GI Bill, the Trump accounts. The app will be available on all major platforms tomorrow morning. It will place the American dreams into the palms of the hands of parents and children. Nearly 6 million kids have been signed up for Trump accounts, and they will launch on July 4th, and it will be a great symbol of the 250th anniversary.
Dude, I dig it, dude. That is so fucking cool. You kidding me? It's awesome, dude. No, I think it's cool to encourage kids to invest. I don't give any investment advice, by the way. I just want to let you know, none of this is financial advice. I have it in the disclaimer. Not financial advice. I always say that 24/7. It's not financial advice. Keep that in mind.
Street prosperity, workers have seen positive wage gains. The unemployment rate remains low at 4.3%, and private sector job growth is strong. So just to reiterate, resilience and prosperity have been the marks of your second term.
Yeah. It's been great. It's been amazing, actually. Any questions?
Mr. President, thank you, Mr. President. Iris Tao with NTV Sister Media with the Epoch Times. You've done a lot to clean up DC and fight crimes here. And as a lot of Americans and people from all around the world are coming to the nation's capital ahead of the major 250th birthday events here, how important is it for you to really keep delivering on these results, but also what does it mean for America's identity on the national and international stage?
So I'm very proud of DC because when we came here a little more than a year ago, it was a very dangerous place, and now it's a very safe place. It's been incredible what's happened as you see the crime numbers. We had restaurants closing up and nobody wanted to go to a restaurant. They were afraid to walk to work. It was very dangerous place, very unsafe. And now it's a very safe place. We brought in the National Guard. We worked with Cash and the FBI, and Janine is doing fantastically, and Todd.
Judge Janine, baby. Dude, Judge Janine's pretty dope, dude.
Everybody. And it's now a very safe city, and people are pouring in, and you see the grass is all beautiful. We put a lot of new grass in because, you know, like people, grass has a life too. And this grass, it was about a long time. But the waterfalls we talked about and the fountains, most of them are in the final stages or fixed. People are writing me letters. People are talking about it. We have some of the most beautiful fountains in the world, and there wasn't one, not one, that worked. We had 29. Out of the 29, not one was worked, in addition to the reflecting pool, which is even, you know, that was the big one of them all, but that was a disaster. So with all of that, and this place is looking beautiful. I rode through it yesterday, where the fences are down. The homeless aren't staying here any longer. We're helping them out, but we're not, you know, we just can't have them in the nation's capital. And when foreign dignitaries come in, they're saying, the first thing they say to me, this place has really changed.
Yeah. And it's all thanks to Trump, because Trump realized that there was a ton of crime in D.C., and he was like, fuck this, dude. We're getting rid of the crime, dude. So he did what he had to do. So, no, thank Trump, dude. See, Trump is not soft on crime. I understand that, you know, the crime, you know, the punishment needs to fit the crime. Does the crime fit the punishment? That sort of thing. That matters. So.
They saw that it was going down. Our whole country was going down, just like D.C. was going down. And as you know, the restaurants were closing up. There weren't very many restaurants, and now they're opening up. You can't get a space. And everyone's going out to dinner, and they're safe. And we have the national security, and we have the National Guard, and we're going to keep them. You know, I want to, by the way, just in case I mentioned, keep them. And don't lower the number either. Absolutely. Somebody said, oh, are there less? I said, I hope not, but don't lower the number if you don't mind, okay?
We're going to surge this summer, too. Yeah.
They look great. You know what? They give people, we took out 5,000 criminals, hardcore criminals. By the way, 90% of the crime is calculated. They count 2% of the people do 90% of the crime. That's a great number. Because when you get rid of 2% you can get rid of. 90% you can't get rid of, 2%. So 2% create 90% of the crime, 91% actually, to be exact. And we moved 5,000.
2% of the people create 90% of the crimes. It's way different than the Pareto principle of 80-20. Holy fuck, dude. Hey, thank you guys for double tapping the screen to like the stream, though. I really appreciate it. Let's keep going.
People, Todd, out of here. These are career criminals. Many of them came over from the last administration through the open border, the ridiculous open border, no vetting, nobody knew who they were. They came out of prisons, they came out of, they're drug dealers, there were people from mental institutions. And Washington, D.C. is now a safe and beautiful place. And it's only going to get more beautiful. Yeah, please.
President Trump, thank you so much for having us in here today. What are your thoughts? Why do you think that Joe Biden is trying to sue the Department of Justice, former President Joe Biden, to have his tapes that he did interviews on blocked from the American people hearing them? Do you think that he's trying to hide something and maybe Acting Attorney General Todd Blanche could comment on if they will countersue and release those tapes to the American
Are you
public.
talking about it with respect to his book?
With respect to his
Well, I'd
memoirs.
like to see it. I don't know. Maybe there's some constitutional reason. I don't know. I would like to see what he has to say, because we can never allow what happened to this country to happen. The man was grossly incompetent.
Yep.
And the
Agreed.
Democrats, I call them the Democrats because the policy is so bad, but they came very close to destroying our country. We can never let it happen again.
Agreed.
And I hope that you're able to produce that. I think it would be a very interesting reading for people.
On the Strait of Hormuz, Mr. President, Iran wants control of the Strait of Hormuz. Would you accept a short-term deal that allows Iran and Oman to control the strait? And would they have to open it immediately, or would you be open to that happening over a period of time?
No, the strait's going to be open to everybody.
And who would control
It's
it?
international waters. Nobody's going to control it.
That's the way it should be. Nobody should be controlling it. Nobody should control the Strait of Hormuz. Not Iran, not any country. Period. End of story. Period. Nobody controls the Strait of Hormuz. Nobody should. Not Iran, not America, nobody. Got it, get it. Yes, this is live. We are, well, the meeting earlier was live. I am doing it. I am reacting to it live. The event was not live. I am live, though. Crazy. Give me a few moments. This will take just a second doing a modification. We got Odin in the house.
We're going to watch over it. We'll watch over it, but nobody's going to control it. That's part of the negotiation that we have. They would like to control it. Nobody's going to control it. It's international waters, and Oman will behave just like everybody else, so we'll have to blow them up. They understand that. They'll be fine.
Mr. President, thank you. How much economic pressure do you feel to get the Strait of Hormuz open?
Well, you have to say, the United States has so much oil that we are an exporter of oil. So we have plenty of oil. We're very lucky. We're blessed with the greatest piece of land in the world from that standpoint, and we have more than anybody else. And now when you add Venezuela to it, we have, I think, 64% of the world's oil. And we're
That's
getting
crazy.
along very well with Venezuela, by the way. It's being run really beautifully. The big companies are moving in. It's going to be amazing, because it's also, like us, they're very blessed in that sense. But we have natural energy that no other country has. We have more than anybody else.
Yep.
So it's really a world problem, because
We're on the right path, man. We're on the right path.
most of the world doesn't have that. And we're making it available. During the closing, I don't know if you We've seen some of the satellite pictures. Boats, hundreds of boats lined up. It looks like, I used to say, the Long Island Expressway with cars. They're lined up, and they're coming to Texas, Louisiana. They're coming to Alaska to fill up their boat, their big boat. Some of them are really big, 2 billion gallons, even bigger than that now they make them. They make them up to 4, Chris, I hear. Now they make them up to 4. The 4 are now the big ones. Used to be the ones. Now it's 4 million barrels of, think of that, 4 million barrels of oil in one boat. But they're lined up and they're right now heading to Texas, and they've already filled up and they've gone back. In addition to that, you have a lot of boats, you have about 1,500 boats in the strait wanting to get out, and at the right time we'll release them.
But the American people are seeing higher gas prices.
Yeah,
now it's come down a little bit, but it's still $4.45.
Oh, it'll come down a lot. It'll come down to where it was before. We had it, when I was in Iowa, we had, we're driving by and we saw gas stations, $1.90 a gallon, $1.85, $1.87 were the 3 that we saw. We had it down in some places below. Now we can't help but California where they charge so much tax that, you lower it and they charge tax. They've got to straighten the act out in California, but we had a gasoline down to a very low number. I think we'll be hitting that number shortly after that whole excursion ends.
Does that give you more urgency?
But regardless of anything, as Marco said better than anybody can say it, you can't let them have a nuclear weapon. They would use it instantly. They wouldn't think about it. They would use it instantly. I've gotten to know them. They would use it instantly.
Does that give you more urgency, Mr. President? You've said that you're in no rush to make a deal, but with gas prices that are still high across the country, people are paying more for travel. Does that give you more urgency to make a deal? Why doesn't it?
Well, I'll tell you the primary urgency I have. I said this, it wasn't covered properly, but the primary urgency is that we can't let Iran have a nuclear weapon. But at the same time, we have a tremendous amount of oil, gas, coal. We have tremendous amounts of energy. We're blessed with something very special. Those prices are going to come down. They're going to come down fast. I think that you'll see, actually, Todd, I think you're going to see lower prices that we had even before we did this. Now, I knew there'd be an increase. I said, we have a choice. We don't have to do anything. And in 2 years or 1 year or 2 months, because Iran would have had if we didn't hit them with the B-2 bombers, Iran would have had a nuclear weapon within 2 weeks from that date, because they were ready to go. And if they had a nuclear weapon, it would have been used already. It also would have been used had I not terminated the Obama deal, the Iran nuclear deal, as we call it. That was in my first term. Had I not terminated that, they would have had a nuclear weapon a long time ago. I would say it was a guarantee that it would have been used, and it would have blown up Israel. It would have blown up the entire Middle East. And that's never going to happen. Yeah, please.
Mr. President, on the shooting last
Iran, would you be comfortable with Russia or China taking their stockpile of highly enriched uranium, and have they offered to do that?
No, I wouldn't be comfortable.
Mr. President, let's consider.
Yeah, I can understand not wanting China to take the highly enriched uranium. Yeah. Because China would probably end up giving it right back to Iran. They'd probably... Because wasn't China, allegedly, secretly, giving Iran a bunch of weapons and shit? So, the way I see it is, that just sounds like a bad idea. To me, it does, at least. I don't know.
That make me comfortable.
Is the U.S. considering easing sanctions on Iran to allow Iran to sell its crude to market?
No, we're not talking about any easing of sanctions or giving money. No sanctions, no money, no nothing. We have control of money that they claim is theirs. We'll keep control of that money. And when they behave properly and when they do what's right, we'll let them have their money. But right now, we're not doing it.
I mean, they're not going to behave properly. That's the problem. They're just not going to behave properly. And this is the thing that sucks about negotiating with Iran, is they don't want to come to the table on anything. And I don't think they will. I mean, what makes you think that they're going to come to the table on any sort of matter? I think it's foolish to assume that Iran's coming to the table. And I love Trump, and I do like the fact that he is optimistic. But at the same time, like I said, the faith is not there. The faith is not there.
that, and it's not, one thing is not contingent on the other.
Mr. President, on the shooting last weekend, it came barely a month after the third assassination attempt against you during the White House Correspondents' Dinner. What was your reaction when you first heard about the latest shooting, and what gives you the courage to really keep doing your job effectively without thinking about these threats every day?
Well, I can't think about it, because if I thought about it a lot, I wouldn't be a very good president. I wouldn't be here, probably. I'd be up in some room with a locked door and say, just leave me alone. So I can't really think about it. If it's just something that, it's a sad part of life. It's a dangerous business. What I'm doing is a dangerous business. And they say, and look, we have been maybe the most consequential, but we certainly have been one of the most consequential. This group has been a very consequential administration.
No, absolutely, dude. Best president of all time, man. I agree. I agree wholeheartedly, man. I think he's been one of the best. I love it, man.
And they say if you're not consequential, you don't have so much problem. If you are consequential, you do. So you have to look at that. But it's a shame. It's a very sad fact of life. Look, anybody in office, not only in this country, in other countries too, but when you are a consequential president, your life is in grave danger. I knew that.
Yeah.
Mr. President?
That's because Trump isn't important. Dude, Trump's important, man, because, think about it like this. Abraham Lincoln, very important president. And back in his day, he was unfortunately seen as controversial. Today, Trump is seen as controversial. People are always after the man. Always, and it's freaking crazy. It's wild, dude. Dude, my portfolio is looking fucking sexy today, dude. No, my portfolio is looking great today. Sir, I think I have a penny stock that I had invested in that ended up going up like crazy. And I'm not a penny stock guy, by the way. I'm not a fan of penny stocks at all. Oh, Best Buy is going up like crazy. I ended up buying Best Buy on at a very good deal. Very, very good deal. Universal Holdings is going up. Wow, there's a lot of things going up. Maybe I think some of my weed stocks went up. That's a possibility. Yeah, some of the weed stocks went up. I like to make sure that a sliver of my portfolio is exposed to the cannabis sector at least, just to be on the safe side. Yeah, everything's looking good, man.
How would you characterize the current state of the talks with Iran? I guess if it were a football field, what yard line would you be on?
Well, I think we're doing very well. I think they're starting to give us the things that they have to give us. And if they do, that's great. And if they won't, then the man on my left is going to finish them off.
Is there a time frame in your mind?
What?
Is there a time frame in your mind for?
I mean, it happens quickly. The problem is every time I mention a time frame, for instance, I see, we've been doing this for a few months. Vietnam lasted 19 years. Korea lasted 8 years. Afghanistan lasted many years. They were all many, many years, and we're into it for a few months. And I read about you people like you What's Turkey?
Yeah, they're in the war for just a few months, and all of a sudden people say it's going to last forever. Sorry, Trump is the most effective president we've ever had.
So long, but we're in it. We lost between two big wars, Venezuela and Iran. We lost 13 souls, 13 great people, met the parents, great people. And it's a terrible thing, but 13, if you look at the war casualties and the deaths in wars from Vietnam and all that, they lost hundreds of thousands of people in numerous of these wars. We're very cognizant of that. We want to lose very few. We want very few to be injured. We're very careful. But war is war. War is dangerous. But we've lost 13. I saw the Democrats took an ad putting in the 13 people that were lost. And when you look at hundreds of thousands of people that were lost in the Middle East, Iraq, all the different wars we were in, we have done an amazing job. With that being said, I hate to lose 13. I hate to lose one. But we've been very. This
has been a successful operation, whether people want to admit it or not. The facts are the facts. This has been very successful. Donald Trump has done a great job, man. He really has. I think Trump has kicked major butt on this. Obviously, you guys don't think so. Whoop-de-doo. Don't really care what you think.
We've been very capable. I mean, when you think of it, we took over Venezuela in one day. We have done a similar job.
I mean, that alone's pretty impressive, to be honest.
But we said, well, give them a little chance at the request of somebody that we greatly respect from Pakistan, the Field Marshal and the Prime Minister. They've been great. They asked us, would we pause the war for a little while because they'd like to, so we'll do that. But we had them beat. They're, no better now. We could close it out very quickly. If we can do it in a different way, that'd be good. If we get everything we want, but we could close that out very, very quickly, and we may have to. I don't think so, but we may have to.
Mr. President, let's about the World Cup, if I could. The U.S. spent a lot of money getting the World Cup here and increasing the infrastructure. Does the economic benefit outweigh the cost?
No, the World Cup is great. It's the most successful they've ever had, ticket-wise. It's they've never had anything that sold so quickly. It's amazing because it's the United States. You don't think of I call it soccer. It's just easier to do because we have football and they have two footballs, right? They call it football. But most people never thought they'd see anything like that. The World Cup, it's turned out to be the most successful World Cup from the standpoint of what's happening than they've ever had. Yeah, please.
Thank you so much. Rowena Ortiz with Turning Point USA. I have one question for you and one question for Vice President J.D. Vance on fraud. What's your message to the New Jersey leaders pushing back against ICE operations at Delaney Hall?
About ICE?
Yes.
Or about NICE, as I call it, NICE. The NICE facility. I'd love to change the name, call it NICE. They do a great job, and it's all paid for protesters. You can see by the signs. The signs are all made by the same beautiful factory. It's a printing plant. In fact, I'm thinking about using it. They do such a nice job. These aren't protesters. These people are fake. They're all paid for.
Yeah. Agreed.
I will tell you, Tom Holman and that whole group, and now Mark Wayne is so incredible. Mark Wayne, do you want to just respond to that? Sure. We run the finest facilities anywhere in the world of their type. But we have some horrible killers. We have guys that have murdered numerous people in there. And these are the people they're trying to protect. There's nobody that runs a facility like we do. Mark Wayne, please.
Yeah, it shows this radical left Democrats' priorities when they decide to go out and protest a detention center where we're housing rapists, child predators, murderers, drug dealers, and they choose Memorial Day of all the time to go protest something that they say that that it's because they're on a hunger strike when there was only a handful of individuals that was refusing to eat because they want their ethnic group or their ethnic right food. Well, they can go back to their country and get whatever food they want. The fact is, we're giving them the calories they want. This isn't Holiday Inn. We're giving sanitation. But for the Democrats and the governor, like Governor Sherrill and Senator Kim and Senator Booker, to go out and do something like this of all the days is very frustrating. And we see Antifa signs are literally out there. The local police literally refusing to respond. They barricade it, not allowing our employees to come in and out. ICE has to go out there, remove the barricade, and then you have one of the senators complain because he got splattered with a pepper ball. I'm sorry, you probably shouldn't have been there.
You know, one thing I'll say about that, the local police, I know a lot of the New Jersey police, they're phenomenal. They love us, but they're told not to do anything.
That's right.
They love us. They love him. They even love me a lot. And I'm in New Jersey a lot. It's great. I mean, I think it's a great place. It's got a group of people running it now that are having a hard time. But they really like this administration. They love this administration more than any administration they've ever had. And they're thanking me all the time. And, you know, I see those guys going up and down the Jersey Turnpike with their big, beautiful hats on. I say, I'd like to look like that someday. You know, they're great. No, these are great people, and they love him, and they love ICE, and they love the Border Patrol, and they're not allowed to talk to anybody. It's like, but it all comes from the top. They have to follow orders. They want to keep their jobs.
Are you expecting Congress to pass a federal gas tax holiday?
A gas tax holiday?
Yeah, to suspend federal
Well,
gas
it's something we might talk about. Let's see what happens over the next week.
A gas tax holiday would be pretty interesting, actually. That doesn't sound like a bad idea. All things considered.
2 weeks, a lot of good things are happening.
So are you going to the Knicks game next week?
No, I was invited to I was going to go on Wednesday, but they closed it out very quickly. They're great. And Jim Dolan's a great guy. He's, as you know, owns and in charge of Madison Square Garden. He's having a good year. Boy, what a team. They win all their games. They have some great players. I think I'll be going to one of the games. Yeah, I was invited by numerous people and Jim. And I think I'll be going. It's great to see it.
President Trump on election fraud.
The Knicks have really suffered for years. And
What's your prediction?
they're doing right now.
President Trump,
He's still in touch with Mayor.
Would you accept an agreement with Iran that just calls for further talks on the uranium, or
No.
is the only option in
No,
your
the
mind
basics.
one
No,
for?
I would for some of it, because it's a memorandum of understanding for speed. And one of the things that will happen is the strait will open immediately, but it's got to be
That's good.
perfect. I'm not going to do this. I didn't do this to get a crummy agreement. The worst agreement ever signed was by Barack Hussein Obama. What a horrible agreement that was. It was a setback for this country, for the whole world. The Middle East would have blown itself up. No, I would like to have the countries we were talking about, with Saudi Arabia, UAE, Qatar, and the others, we'd like to have them immediately join and Steve Witkoff is working on that with Jared and some others, but would like to have them join the Abraham Accords. It'll be historic if they do it. And I think they owe that to us, to be honest. I think, because that really would be a tremendous sign. And I think those countries owe it to us.
Mr. President,
Steve, are you going to get them to sign?
We're definitely pushing it, Mr. President.
I'm not sure we should make the deal if they don't sign. You want to know the truth? If they don't sign to join the Abraham Accords, I don't know that we have countries in there already. UAE, great.
Yeah.
Great countries, bold countries. And, it's turned out to be so good, so effective, and so we're requesting strongly that they join. It'll be great. It'll be great for Saudi Arabia. It'll be great for Qatar.
Is he
Kuwait,
requesting that
whole
Iran
group.
join the
So the
Abraham
Iran
Accords?
deal might be contingent on more countries joining the
I don't know.
Accords.
I don't want to say that. I'm not going to give you, what's contingent, what's not. I can say that we can make a good deal right now, but maybe not a great deal. And if it's not a great deal, we're not making it. So, because we can make a great deal with this guy right here. And but it's it's a lot nastier. Probably wouldn't go as quickly. We wouldn't be talking about it as quickly, but it would be foolproof. But I think we're doing very well, Steve. I think we're doing pretty well in terms of the negotiation, but we'll see. If it's not going to be a real deal, because Obama had that horrible JCPOA, whatever it was the worst deal. It was a path for Iran to have a nuclear weapon very quickly. Years ago, they would have had a nuclear weapon. We might not be here talking about it right now. They would have had a nuclear weapon. And frankly, Obama picked the wrong country. He should have picked another country. I won't tell you what it was. But he picked the wrong country when he picked Iran. But we have things understood now with Iran. It's been nasty. They've lost their leaders. They've lost. And it really is regime change. We didn't set out for regime change. But by the fact that we're dealing with a totally different group of people than we were at the beginning. And frankly, I find them to be much more reasonable. I actually find them to be smarter, but I find them to be much more reasonable. This is regime change. One regime is gone, another regime is gone, we're dealing with the third. Pieces of it, because some of them are gone too. And
oh yeah, the Obama deal was terrible.
I find them, I think, how can you have a stronger regime change than that, So I do find that. I'd like to thank you all very much. We're doing great. Our country is doing fantastically well, and this group of people is outstanding. Thank you all very much.
Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you very much.
Well, interesting stuff. Trump's killing it as always. We all know that. Trump's kicking butt. Crazy, man. Wow. Living in the wild, wild west. Wild west. Heading for the 90s, living in the 80s, northeast, west, south, all in the same house. Gimme, gimme Wild West, gimme, gimme safe sex. Yeah, I need to get a little bit of sleep for sure. We'll be ending the stream here in just a few moments. Don't forget to tap the gift button in the lower right-hand corner. The more gifts we get, the better. It does help the channel grow in more ways than one. Yeah. We need some gifts, bro. I need all the gifts. Give me all your gifts. Give me all your gifts. I'm gonna do a gift wrap, yeah. Give me all your gifts. Give me all your gifts. You know that this is the man. I am the man. Give me your gifts. I'm gonna rap for your gifts. You're gonna tap that gift button in the lower right hand corner because you know my rhymes are good. Because you know my rhymes is fresh. Because you know my rhymes is tight. Because you know my rhymes is right. If you want to tap that gift button, tap the gift button in the lower right-hand corner. Send me Happy Poop Yum Yum does not exist. I want Happy Poop Yum Yum again, even though I can't get that shit now. Give me a high five. Tap the gift button. Give me a high five, yo. Tap the gift button. Make me feel good. Make me feel good. It makes you feel good. Tap the gift button like I knew you would. Tap the gift button like I knew you would. This is sad, dude. What I'm doing is sad. I am bringing shame to my dojo. But yeah, tap the gift button because I'm the greatest white rapper in the US of A. And all my homeboys, they think that I'm gay and I don't know why. I'm the kind of guy. Daddy Trump, he is the man. He's gonna take you all to the can. Donald Trump is the greatest president of all time, yo. Everybody really jealous of Donald Trump. Everybody really jealous of Donald Trump. Tap the gift button if you love Trump. Don't forget to tap the gift button and send me some sparkles. Daddy wants some sparkles right now. I hope you tap the gift button and give me some sparkles. That's what I really want, dude. At the end of the day, I want some sparkles. I want people to tap the gift button. I want people to send me sparkles. I want to feel good about my life. Just kidding. But no, I do appreciate everybody for tapping. We actually got a lot of gifts today. I love it, bro. You guys are making me feel good, dude. All right, before I end the stream, I'm going to, I got to brush my teeth real quick. So if you guys can, don't forget to tap the gift button while I'm brushing my teeth. Tap the gift button, send us a gift. All gifts are very appreciated. Send me sparkles, though, preferably. Sparkles are my favorite gift, so feel free to send as many. Wait, do they still have sparkles? What? Oh, they do have sparkles. So yeah, you could still send me sparkles. Sparkles. If you guys want, you guys can send me sparkles. That's all I want. Do you really want to hurt me?
Laugh out loud.
Really? Oh! Annie, thank you so much for the sparkles. Mucho appreciato. I greatly... Oh, hey, STR, thank you for sending sparkles.
Laugh out loud.
Thank you, STR MGZ, for sending sparkles. Mucho appreciado. Thank you, Annie. I appreciate the sparkles. I appreciate everybody sending me sparkles. The more sparkles we get, the better. We're pink... Dude, if we're going to be pink brony bros on this channel... We need sparkles. Okay? We need sparkles.
Laugh out loud.
Thank you, STR. I appreciate it. Thank you. That's all I wanted was some sparkles. Is it so much to ask, everybody? If you all collectively sent me sparkle gifts, I'm happy pretty much just doing this show, to be honest. But no, anytime we get sparkles, anytime we get any sort of like gifts and stuff, it really does help the channel grow in a lot of ways, at least monetarily speaking. So I really do appreciate you guys for coming to the table, man. Thank you, STRMGZ. Appreciate you, man. All right, I'm going to brush my teeth real... Well, I'm going to drink some more water than brush my teeth. All right. Give me a second, you guys. Sorry about that. So we're going to be ending the stream in just a few moments, but I want to brush my teeth real quick, and then I'll want to just give a final monologue or a final epilogue or whatever. All right. Well, I want to thank you guys for being so incredible. Thank you guys for the sparkle gifts. I appreciate all you guys. But yeah. Thank you guys. I can't believe we got 192 likes on this particular stream. I really appreciate that. The more likes we get, obviously, the better it does help the channel grow. Makes me feel pretty good about myself. And yeah. Whoa, dude. Who's pathetic? Me? Now, if you guys think I'm pathetic, send me a gift. If you guys pity my existence, please send me gifts. If you think I am a pitiable human being for liking Trump, please tap the gift button. I'm messing with you guys. Annie, thank you so much. Appreciate it. Well, I'll see you guys a little bit later tonight. But anyway. U.S. Navy spook. What are you saying, bro? But anyway, I'll catch you guys later. Oh, before I go, I wanted to say, I think the Iran war is going to end here really soon. I think it is. You may not believe me, but you will. I think you will. See you guys on the next.